Ain't it foggy outside? All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yep.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman Hack. How the hell you doing today?
Big night tonight. Eagles, Washington. Can't wait.
Yeah, this is a big game. This is the division on the line.
Huge game.
Almost.
Biggest game of the season.
Yeah, easily. Eagles are 4-point favorites, I believe the line is right now.
Did it get up? It's up to 4?
It's up to 4. So this is as we're recording right before the game. So
this is as probably as excited I am as the Eagles Niners last year.
Yeah,
you know, like as big as a regular season game that you could.
It's probably excited as I am as the season opener this year, I would say.
Yeah, this is a big one.
But it does have that 49er feel to it, where you're like,
where it's like, hey, all right,
not only 7-3, is it a conference game, but it's division game.
I mean, this is easily the most significant matchup on Thursday night so far this year, easily.
Yeah, besides the season opener, I think.
Probably.
Yeah, but Ravens Chiefs was season opener.
Yeah, besides season opener.
Besides season opener, yeah.
Thursday night games are usually pretty shitty.
Was that Ravens? Was Ravens Bengals? Was that Monday night? Or was that Thursday night? That was a Monday night?
Monday night.
Ravens Bengals?
Yeah, and then last week they played too, right? Wasn't that Ravens Bengals again last week?
I couldn't remember if it was Thursday or Monday night.
It was last Thursday.
Last Thursday, yeah. So they played last Thursday. That was a good game, actually. But, I mean, look, this is going to be a litmus test game for the Birds. I mean, last week you kind of throw it out.
Dude, actually, for both teams, it's kind of a litmus test. I mean, it's not like Washington's played a shitload of great teams.
They haven't beat a bunch of people over 500, but last week they had a test with the Steelers, I would say.
And they hung with them.
Yeah, lost by 1.
They were right in that game.
And scored 27 points, and Jaden Daniels didn't really have that great of a day. So they can put up points.
Yeah, they definitely can.
And you know, a stat that I actually saw today was every team that the Steelers have played, the next game they've lost.
Huh. That's interesting.
6 times. Yeah. Every time the team plays
I wish we were playing them this week.
No, we're
they won.
We're playing the Commanders who just played the Steelers. So according to Ty's stat, the Commanders should lose this game based on the trend.
Every team that's played the Steelers that following week, they've lost. So put that in your pipe and smoke it however you want to.
Don't tell them
we got to rest some starters in the end of our game, and their starters had to play like 75 plays or something. Some of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they just lost a tough one. They want to get one back. Big division game.
Yeah, but it's a short week.
But it's a short week for us too. So I don't really think that's going to have too much of a factor into it.
That Dallas game, I mean, we kind of just throw that away. That was they had no chance in that game pretty much. Cooper Rush was.
I think both teams are going to be ready to play tonight. So
how about last week with the game too, with the sun there in Jerry's world? It's amazing.
And then his response to it
was so stupid, and it's funny. I just saw a little wrestling tie-in.
We know the sun. We know where the sun is, but you know where the moon is.
Yeah, but the wrestling tie-in here. So when they ran WrestleManias there, they put these giant curtains down, so they know to
and
do
that
that.
Ain't cheap.
No,
dude, those curtains are huge.
Yeah, so they have them somewhere.
That's like $100,000 of curtains.
But they have the access to this information. Like, the sun's going to be there.
Why would you make your stadium? Why would you make a $5 billion stadium? Who knows what it was? Probably $2 billion when it was finished. But why would you make it north-south? I mean, or east-west?
Yes.
It makes sports fields go north-south.
Yes.
Never east-west.
Yeah.
I've noticed it, like, every time you watch a Cowboys game, the sun's, like, glaring in. It's like, why?
How are the players dealing with that?
I don't know.
Even your own team. Why
Well,
would you want your
said
own
he dropped the
team?
one pass because he couldn't see it.
Oh, he totally did.
It was
You could
clear.
see
He
it.
didn't see
Yeah,
anything.
he had no chance for that ball. I mean, it wasn't.
Why would you want your own team to have to deal with that?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
dude, some of the pictures I saw online of it, and now looking at it, I mean, I don't know how either quarterback or anybody could see anything in that.
No, it's
Like,
completely
look, like it's almost like it made the sunlight like.
enhanced.
Yeah, it was like it expanded the sunlight across the stadium.
Yeah, just poor design there by Jerry, but I'm glad to see it. So I was happy to beat the Cowboys.
Yeah,
the
he's
stinking Cowboys.
derailing. Like every
Yeah,
post game interview and every he's literally gone off the rails. Like
He's crashing out.
It's
In his
gonna be
old age.
like me in a week or so.
I mean, he's like 85.
Yeah, I think you got it going more than Jerry does. So this past weekend, guys, you guys were up at Long Island for the big event.
Great weekend with Franny and Todd. You know, traveling in the
Now, I
car
had the
for 8
kids, I wasn't
hours.
able to participate.
And Ty is the wheelman taking everybody up to Long Island.
Better believe it.
Yeah.
So you guys had a great time. You guys obviously
Laughed all weekend, dude. It was great.
I mean, you've said this before to me, Hack. That you get paid to go on family reunions.
Yeah, there was 9 of us there. In that one picture that we posted, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? I mean, there's like 9 of us there. It's like it's lovely. As long as you don't have to sit close to Shane to hear him talk all day, you're good.
Who's the guy that always photobombs the pictures too? You said his
Chris.
name's Chris Moose?
Yeah, he's a CFL player, XFL player. He's got tons of rings, like in his box, like football rings and stuff in
Yeah,
his
big
house.
he's from West Virginia. Big
Moose
West Virginia
Reese,
fan.
yeah, I love that.
He's just always crashing these photos. Like
Well,
he's
No, he hires us. Like he hires me and Franny to go here, to
Gotcha.
go there.
Okay.
Hires Shane all the time. You know what I mean?
yeah, because when you sent that one picture, I've seen him in pictures before. I'm like, who is this guy? I can't place him.
Yeah, but he's like one of us. He's got his hay, he's got his house, he's got a big barn, garage barn, whatever. He's got a wrestling school there. You know what I mean? So he's as close to being one of us that you could be without being one of us. He is.
Okay, all right. So
Because we respect his sports acumen from what his accolades in his football life.
gotcha.
Aren't we going down to his house to blow some shit up soon?
Yeah, he invited us all down. He's like, "You guys come on down. We'll just blow some shit up.
All right.
for
Yeah.
content."
Who
You know?
don't like to blow shit up?
Cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was like, "All right, man."
It's West Virginia.
all
We can
right,
do what we want.
We'll have to
Take a
bring
road trip.
we'll have to bring inbred Ed. We'll have to tell him to come by too. Huh?
Yeah, inbred at we.
Back your
bags, Ed.
Yeah, pack your bags, Ed. And Ty, I know you guys too. You got to hang out at the bar that night.
No, he hung out with us.
Okay, he hung out with you guys.
Yeah.
Tagging along was none other than Adam Pac-Man
I would
Jones.
say tagging along. But
New friend of the show, close personal friend.
Yeah, clearly.
yeah, Ty's got his number.
Yeah.
He made sure we exchanged numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, he was with his crew, and it was like me, Hack, and there was actually a fan sitting there at the bar. We were just
Buying his drinks, which was lovely.
Pac-Man.
That guy was cool.
Yeah, Pac-Man came over, and we just got to talking. We were talking to him about his TNA days, and he was a big fan of wrestling, and how he first got in the business, and they were putting him with like Hogan and Flair. He's like, I'm totally green coming in this thing, and they're putting me with the who's who, workers. He was
Guys
like,
that ain't carrying anybody.
right. He was like, I could only go down from from that aspect. He was like, it was tough. It was fun as hell. But I mean, he was a huge fan. He was there for the signing. A bunch of people were there for the signing. Not only the ECW guys, but all the other guys. Hacksaw, like MVP, Shelton Benjamin.
Ty, tell him the LT story.
Are you ready to LT?
This is so funny.
Lawrence Taylor. So
we knew he was there, right?
he was there doing a signing. Me and Hack have our table, and there's like an auxiliary gym behind us where a bunch of the bigwigs were like signing.
It was
stuff
a
for the
VIP
thing.
gym, and
Yeah.
then a small gym, and then the big gym was where everybody else was.
Okay.
And you had to go walk right past me to go to the one.
Okay.
Right. So I go back there, and there's a back door right there where people were like smoking cigs, whatever. Me and Hack were going out there to take a piss. I go out there to take a piss. LT's just out there smoking a stogie, like just chilling. And I'm like, all right. I come back in. I'm like, yo, Hack, LT's out there like smoking a stogie. I think we should go get a picture. And I don't want to get a picture with anybody, but LT's LT.
Lawrence.
Oh, I'm the same way. Dude.
Yeah,
In a
like-
second.
Yeah, like he
Maybe-
might be the best defensive
ever.
player ever.
Might be the best football
Changed the
player
game.
ever. Yeah.
Right. I'm like, LT's. And like, like couple minutes go by, maybe like 2 minutes go by. Hack's like, all right, let's go back there. Go back there. He's no longer there. And we didn't even see him walk by us because you have to walk by us to get back to the... And we were like, motherfucker, like, damn. And then we had like another opportunity. He was walking towards us, and then we were like going to ask him, and then he got sidetracked and started walking the other way. And we weren't going to like chase him down or anything. But the one opportunity we did kind of thought that we were going to have, it missed out on, but that would have been a...
No, tell him the story about you telling me LT and I turn around and hug the dude.
No.
Dude,
So after that, yeah, LT's walking back through the crowd, like past our table, I guess, to go to his table. And I'm like, yo, Hack, LT. And Hack's bent down, like, signing something. And he turns around, and there's a fan, like, right behind Hack. And Hack's like, oh, LT.
Dude,
like,
he was a light-skinned black guy, bald, not big, and I'm like, LT. I put him over like he was LT. He shook his head down to mine.
LT's dark.
And he's still pretty
I know,
big.
but I'm an idiot.
yeah, and I'm just looking, like, shaking my head like, Jesus Christ. Oh,
Come on, Hack. Come on.
What are we doing here? But no, it was a great time. See, I mean, everybody. I don't want to say it, but
How about hacking MJF with that picture?
yeah.
Oh,
big
dude,
time.
MJF said he's a big fan. Put his face like my
Yes,
my
he did.
used to. He
That's
proved
what Greg
it.
pointed out in the picture, too.
That was
Greg-
the second time I met him. I went back just to say hi to him because I wanted to put him over. And then when he was coming through the curtain, I was like, all right, let's get a picture, kid.
Yeah, we went back and was like, "Yo, kid, like, nice to meet you." And he was like, "Oh, Sandman, like, huge fan. This, that, the other, blah 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 blah." And then he came out and he had to keep kayfabe, and so he wasn't gonna put Heck over then, but we were able to get a picture because it was good fans. But everybody, it was good to see a lot of different people. A lot of Paul's line was probably like 60 yards long for about 5 hours.
Yeah, all day. Got to see JBL, spend a minute with JBL.
Wait, did you mention the signing thing that happened with him?
Oh, so this one
another
guy
screw up on me?
This is bad.
So
What happened?
Paul was having like basically like profession, like you could take a picture with Paul like from your phone or everything like that, or they were doing this thing where they like printed a like kind of professional photo out. You had to wait like 5
they
or
call
10
it a
minutes.
professional picture session. You know what I mean? So they take a picture of you, and then within 5 minutes, you get a nice 8x10 of the picture.
Okay.
So right after that, the guy's over at my table.
Yeah, he's over at Hack's table, and Hack's like, "Oh, what's that?" He's like, "Oh, it's a professional picture of me and Paul." Hack's like, "Oh, like, can I see it or whatever?" The guy goes, "Oh, sure." So Hack's looking at it, whatever, like puts it down on the table, is looking at it. The guy hands Hack like a picture of him and Hack, or like an 8x10 of Hack to sign, and Hack's just like in signing mode, so he signs a picture of him and Hing, and the picture of the fan and Paul is still there. Hack signs.
No, he doesn't.
Big all over the guy's chest.
You ruined his professional
totally.
photo by getting a Sandman signature on it.
So Hack signs, and I'm like, and
But the guy was cool about it. He's like, yo, this is ECW.
yeah, he
you
was
go.
like, whatever. But inside, it's like skin was like
Oh, he wanted
crawling.
to cane the shit out of him.
So he's got a
He probably
picture.
waited in like 2 hours for
At
that
minimum.
picture.
Easily.
And
Minimum
then the
that long.
hack signs over it like a fucking dumbass.
Well, now he has a hardcore memory to remember that picture by.
Yeah, it's
so.
a picture of him
You
and
are
Paul
that kind
Heyman
of one,
signed
Hack.
by the Sandman.
Wow.
I know, I'm an idiot.
That's all right. Well,
Fucking
that's awesome.
unbelievable.
Hack, you said you ran into Steve Carino too. You got to hang with him.
Oh my God, I ain't seen Carino. Well, me and Franny figured it out. She ain't seen him since like 2006, so I probably haven't seen him in like 2 decades.
Wow.
It was great. It was really great to see him. I gave him a big hug. Met his kid. Found out about I didn't know what his job was. So he told me his job and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it was nice that it's great to see old friends that you used to be that like real tight with. You see him every weekend. You know what I mean? But he's literally the one that maybe the only guy that I ain't seen out of that locker room.
I know. I wish we got to see you and Carino more like work together, because I think you guys.
Oh,
would've
that
been-
kid was good.
I
Great
think
chemistry
you guys would have
together.
been really, really
That
good.
kid was good.
He was so
Wow.
good. He was
Really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steve Carino. Wow.
He's probably great.
And still
honestly.
like and I hadn't seen him since you probably had seen him.
And
right?
he looks fantastic, dude. He looks like a movie star.
Yeah.
He's got like the hair blown back and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He looks fantastic.
Yeah,
He's
Dude's a
always
good-looking
always
guy.
suited up too with the role.
Yeah, he had a crazy. I didn't. He was wearing the suit, but I didn't agree with. Like, it was a little bit too loud for me. But
Well, we'll talk about loud suits here with the show today, the one you were rocking in November to Remember '94.
yes,
Any other thoughts on the weekend that you guys had? Any other?
I just love Franny and Todd. What a
No, it
great
was-
weekend.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Just seeing everybody, and
We
I
took
mean,
over Freebie and the Bean show. Absolutely took that show over.
I was actually listening to a little bit of it in Text and Tie on Friday night. I was listening in, and
We took their show over,
Yeah,
dude.
what's the name again?
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and
You
the
guys
Pharaoh.
were calling them like 900 different names. I can't remember what their actual
Sonny
name
and
is now.
Cher during the show. All we were
Yeah,
called
Bert and
Tacky
Ernie.
and Lazy.
Yeah.
But we were crushing them.
Well, if you guys ever have the opportunity to catch a signing with Hack in your area, definitely take a chance to.
Oh, and we had a lot of people come up to us and say they listened to the show and like,
Everyone said it was funny as shit.
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
so
because
cool.
we had the like the flyers, like the podcast flyers, and some of them would be like, "No, I already listened," like or that, and they were like, "Yo, great job on the podcast." Like I always
Yeah,
listen
most
to
of
that.
them
Like,
pulled me aside. They're like, "Yo, Hack, you got to get rid of these scrubs. They're dragging you down."
Oh yeah, sure.
Just saying.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure that's what they were saying. Sure.
Hack's like, "What are we talking about again?"
Yeah. What? All right.
I'll take.
Yeah, let's see.
You idiot, Hack.
This week on the show, we are reviewing ECW November to Remember 1994. The reason we wanted to do this one, there was like two moments on the show that just like are historic ECW moments, and we'll get into them both. But Hack, any memories of the company at this point in time? You guys are in your growing phase here, as you call
No,
it.
I didn't remember any of this stuff.
Nothing.
Zero.
Not even like your angle,
It's-
when we'll get to that later. But
Well,
I mean,
yeah, but barely. Like the Peaches, me saying she's fat.
We'll get to that, we'll get to that, we'll get to that.
But I didn't remember. Dude, it was like watching it for the first time for me.
okay.
Probably might have been the first time I have ever watched it, like end to end, that angle.
Yeah. This show was coming from the ECW Arena on the 5th of November, 1994. The show started off with a guy playing the national anthem on a guitar, and this was certainly not Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock. So he's playing the guitar. He's not doing a pretty good
He
job.
looked like Howard Stern.
He
almost.
did kind of look like Stern, and I had not seen this show. I don't even know if I've ever watched the show before in whole, and I immediately was thinking, here comes 911. This has got to be 911. And of course...
Well, they
as-
don't ever play the anthem. So,
they never played the
yeah.
anthem in ECW, and he starts fucking it up, and then out comes 911, attacks him, lays him out with a choke slam on the stage. Heyman and the mic weren't working. You could tell Heyman was like a little pissed about the mic not working there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it should work opening the goddamn show.
Yeah, like there's a lot of
Like, boys, what are you doing here?
there's a lot of like wonky production issues in the show, but again, it's 1994. It's not going to be the tip top production. And then they went to the ring, and then he chokeslams the ring announcer. Who was this ring announcer, Hack? Do you?
He was around, but I couldn't remember his name, and I tried, and I'm like, dude, what is that dude's name? Rocky.
Rocky?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we called him, Rocky.
Rocky. Okay.
Or Rocco. Rocky or
yeah,
Rocky.
because I recognized him and I was like, I remember that guy, but I couldn't remember his name either.
He took a decent chokeslam bump. I'll give him that, and he sold it pretty
Dude,
well.
for being a non-bumper, I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Yeah, he sold the chokeslam pretty well. Then Paulie bopped him with the giant cell phone, which I liked. He gave a little self for
The
it.
cell phone's
I
just
always
hilarious.
loved the giant cell phone
The
that
giant-
he would carry around. Like
Yeah.
that's just the perfect little tip to the cat.
It is. It was always a great part of the gimmick for Paulie Dangerously. And then 911 gave him another chokeslam, and that was the opener of the show. So a little 911 action for the crowd there. And the crowd just eating up 911. Like not.
Yo, dude, and all right, we'll get into it.
No. Okay, well, all right.
About his pop.
The opening match on the show was Hack Myers taking on your boy,
Sha.
JT Smith.
Shah.
Yeah, so this was, I mean, it was a quick brawl.
They went over the
4
rail for a
minutes
sec.
long.
4 minutes long.
Yeah.
It was just a quick brawl. They're going around the ringside. And this was JT Smith, man. JT Smith looked pretty good in this. Like, Hack, you broke into the business around the same time as Smith, right? You were
Dude,
trained
we
together?
broke in literally
And
the
you were
first
working
nights together.
You worked together too, right?
All the time. We opened up Good Heart shows. Every show we had, me and him were the opening.
I really liked like JT Smith as like a
And then we
solid
went down.
worker.
We went down to USWA together. We drove down together in my van. You know, so the time I was working with Lawler, he was down there too with me. So yeah, we were tight.
Okay, yeah. I thought he was pretty
He hit me
good.
with a flying headbutt in school, and he busted me open in my on my head, and I was in Philadelphia. So when he decided, so I'm bleeding. Ty's mom, I don't know, Ty might have been with us because Ty came. She would take him down to the school with us all the time, at least a couple nights a week. You know what I mean? Because it was like that family thing. I just thought I could do something with Peaches or whatever. You know what I mean? And then we went to a hospital in Philly, and there's like gunshot wound, this, stabbing, this. I'm like, let's get out of here. We'll go up to Bryn Mawr. I went into Bryn Mawr. They took me in right away. Boom, boom, boom.
There you go.
But yeah, he busted me open on the head, give me a real flying headbutt.
A shoot flying headbutt
Yeah.
from JT Smith.
Yeah.
This match, again, not really a whole lot here. I did really enjoy it. Myers had a chair, and then JT Smith drop kicked the chair right into his face.
And then flew over it.
Yeah, that was wild stuff. I thought it was pretty
Best
fun.
spot of the match.
Best spot in the match by far. And they were working really fast, and it was kind of sloppy, but whatever. It's early ECW. The finish was some roll-ups. There was a crucifix, and then a roll-up, and then JT Smith got him with a Northern Lights suplex with a bridge, pretty nice bridge, and that was the finish. Afterwards, Hack Myers then
That
went,
was the
A
90s.
finish that you don't ever see anymore.
No,
I
there's
actually
no-
really liked it though, watching it.
It was a good well executed. He had a perfect bridge on it. And
Yeah, there was another finish too that was old school like that.
I mean, look, it's not much for a 4-minute match. I feel weird even giving a lot of these matches star ratings. I'll go.
And that's a Todd Gordon making sure that JT has a spot in the match because Paul didn't see JT the same way that Todd saw JT.
Okay.
Paul didn't see me the same way Todd saw JT. So that was like Todd making sure that he had a spot.
Gotcha.
Before Paul came up with the idea to put him in the
FBI later.
Right.
Yeah. So this is kind of like, at this point in ECW, Todd is the owner, but obviously still involved with creative at some point, even though Paulie's booking it.
Yes, dude, Paul doesn't have the whole book at this point.
Right,
really.
because you could see there's certain angles, like your angle, which we'll get to later, clearly is like Todd influence, and I'll get to more of that later. But I enjoyed this for what it was. It's an opener. It was energetic. Like, I enjoyed the pace of it, kind of. I'll go one and a half.
Enjoyed the 4-minute pace.
I'll go 1.5 stars with it. I don't even know.
2.
Okay, 2. Hack's giving it a... Say-
JT, my boy's in it.
How many stars, Hack?
4.
There you go, 4.
I'm giving it a 4.
Wow, Ty goes 4 as well.
Dude, it's a great opening match. Honestly, if you watch
Hot and
it,
heavy, dude. That's what me and JT used to do. Hot and heavy. Good Hard loved it. We went in there 10-minute stops, kicked some ass, and then rolled. Good Heart's one of the ones. See, you know how guys like they start like WWE's doing it now. Well, they'll start with like a main event.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Same with AEW.
But back in the day, Goodhart was even smart enough to know that something needed to change. You'd have a nice easy match, the first match, a girls match or something. You know what I mean? Then a good tag
then
match
a tag
or whatever.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But Goodhart even knew back then that something needed to change, and by changing it, starting off quick and starting off hot.
Yeah, I mean...
Nobody was doing that back then.
Yeah, it was good pace and fun, and then they brawled to the back, just to the back. There were some wild shots being thrown there by Hack Myers.
Like almost every match did.
All right, we'll get to that too. I got a big note here.
Well, I don't know how much of that was by design and how much was because of circumstance and a lot of, like, especially the end.
Well, the end
The end was total circumstance,
Yeah,
I
the
think,
end
but-
was, but
Up next on the show was the Pitbulls taking on the Bad Breed, Axel Rotten and Ian Rotten. So this was, just like, it's tough to watch some of these Bad Breed and Pitbull matches over where you're like,
you're better off. It's hard to tell the match from the television screen at this point in time because it's one hard camera, and like you're watching the guys in the ring, but then there's the other guys who are doing shit all around so that the people can see in the arena, but you're not catching that.
You don't have the switching camera angles yet.
Right. So you're not catching the whole picture of what's going on in the match, so that kind of makes it difficult.
It does, and it's early work for some of these guys. Like, I mean, the Pitbulls are only in this business a couple of years.
I had already been to Japan.
Oh, at this point, they'd already
Yeah.
been to Japan. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. The work was okay. I got kind of weirded out when there's like the Pitbulls started making tags. It's like you're just doing all this for
first thing I was
then
like,
you start doing tags.
Gary tags Anthony. I'm like, it's hilarious. There isn't even tag ropes.
No, I know, but
There's
then
not
they
even
start
tag ropes.
Then they start doing tags, and it's like, what's going
And
on here?
Axel's outside somewhere on the ring, and he's like tag, and then he comes in and does like a shoulder press, and then goes back and tags him.
See, and the thing about this match is that it's probably like only really made for like a hardcore match or however you want to call it. But
Well, there ain't gonna
they
be a lot
might-
of spots.
I know, but they might have not have done that long because you have later in the show
The P and Cactus
Mikey
Mikey, yes.
is what you stay away from that. So there can, I mean, how good can this match really be without?
Without that.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but they both got color. Two
They
guys,
did.
dude. My God, it took Anthony like 5 minutes to get color. Did you guys even notice that?
I mean, it was-
Anthony could not get his blade out. It took him literally 5 minutes to find his freaking blade.
I didn't notice it until
Yeah, he's laying on his face, and then he gets hit again, rolls over, lays on his face, gets hit again, rolls over, starts looking for his shit. I'm like, Anthony, I'm begging you to get the
Well,
freaking blade.
for as much juice as he was, he couldn't even.
Oh, he gaffed himself.
Well, I'm saying, but for as much juice as he was doing, he couldn't even get Axel up for like a pump handle slam that week. Fuck.
Well, actually, no. Anthony's tough, and Axel ain't jumping for anybody.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I
Come
mean?
on, those are-
Actually,
Axel was at his leanest here, though. This was
Axel,
lean.
both of them.
Yeah, Ian actually like really like if you ever go back and watch some IWA Mid South, Ian could actually really do like mat wrestling, chain wrestling.
Yeah, and so could Axel.
Yes, they're both-
everybody that's ever been in ECW could work.
And that's why you see people like Balls Mahoney, who you think wouldn't really
can
be
work his ass
a worker,
off.
Yeah.
but he can work on the mat.
Well,
and
in-
chain wrestle.
Well, in this match, you saw him do like a couple spots, and Axel like bumped his ass off really
Yep.
well and did like a couple different things.
He
But-
did
go
off the
back-
one drop kick. Off
Go
the one
back
drop
and watch
kick,
some
like
Balls
the
and
full two.
Axel Ryan tag matches. They could work a little. They
Yeah, they could.
had something in there.
But it wasn't much really. The finish was I don't know where Axel was, but the Pitbulls had Ian up for the super bomb, and that was the finish. So how long did this one go?
3 minutes.
Yeah, this didn't go long either. I don't know, man. I'll go a star and a half again. This is gonna be my rating for most of these because, like, I didn't hate it.
I'm giving it 2 at least for the people that are in it.
All right, Hack.
4, my boys are in it. The Pitbulls.
There we go. He's got some boys in it. He's got to go 4. Ty,
half.
half a star.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. After the match, the Bad Breed then attacked the Pitbulls, and that was again.
Another
Twice. Yeah, things aren't over, even though they're over.
The thing is, it's like, how many times have I said that? If you're going to lose clean, and that be it. You don't have to get over back afterwards. You know what I mean? That's cheap to me. I
That's what
hate
you're
it.
saying. It was pretty much almost every match, and it was either that or they were brawling into the back, or
A run-in.
or the stretcher was being brought out, or like
Yeah,
there
was a
was
lot of
something
stuff.
at the end of every single match, which is actually comical.
And this is another match where somebody tries to get the heat back afterwards. This is Mr. Hughes taking on friend of the show, close personal friend, Too Cold Scorpio. I don't know, man. Something about Mr. Hughes, and obviously he was brought in to be like a bodyguard for Shane. But like to me, he always just kind of seemed a little out of place in ECW, and I can't exactly say why.
He wasn't one of us.
He didn't fit in the locker room
No,
either.
Scorp didn't like him.
He did not like working with him.
Well, because all right, here's the thing. It's not. It is just what it is. What I'm saying. There's to Scorpio. There's 2 different African American black people. You know what I mean? There's like a European African American, and there's a European American that grew up in New York in the slums. You know what I'm saying? And Scorp was brought up better than that, and he didn't like what Hughes represented.
Okay.
Is that why he was calling him Mr. Shoeshine?
Yes, you see him put out there that shoe shine shit.
He
You don't
did
see
it
a black guy do that to another black guy. That
No,
was
he-
putting him down.
Yeah, that was
I'm
shoot.
glad, dude. I'm glad you freaking put
Yeah,
it.
that was
That's
shoot.
one of my notes.
He did it a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I thought
Yeah.
it was weird. I was like,
Yeah,
I had never
that's
seen
black
that
on
before.
black crime.
Yeah, I had never seen that before.
I didn't realize.
But nobody in the locker room liked Hughes.
He didn't fit in overall with the crew.
Well, no, you
or-
gotta understand. His first weekend, he tried to steal a freaking dresser from 5 Points, and we were in Northeast Philadelphia, There's a place called Five Points. We're at this at a what's it called, a flea market. They have a flea market there every Sunday.
Okay.
Hughes tried to he was getting the ring guys to throw a dresser on the ring truck so he could take it home, and the guy who runs the place caught him doing it.
Wow.
And went to Todd and be like, "Yo, dude, what is this dude doing?" You know what I mean? So that just put him on a bad foot with everybody.
Okay. Wow. I'm trying to think, like, who would he have gotten booked on the show from? Paul Lee, probably, at this point?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's
From
Paulie and Paulie
WCW?
only.
From WCW?
Yeah, Todd don't know him.
Okay. Yeah. So.
But that's Paul knowing that he can bring him in and make him put over anybody, and he's a credible dude to put over.
He is credible size-wise, and I've seen him in some good matches.
But name recognition-wise also.
Yeah. Somebody coming off TV.
Exactly.
And he actually did pretty decent
Dude, the
work
dude
in this
can
match.
work.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Some of the drop kick,
He did a
the
leapfrog.
Yeah, the leapfrog.
Dude,
I was
he
like,
was
damn.
100 pounds less. That dude was a beast.
Yeah. This was like a
He'd
big...
be Scorp.
Right. Well, Scorp is special, man.
No, but Scorp's thick as
He
shit,
is.
too.
He's a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
dude.
he's a
Scorp
big
is a big dude. This match was kind of like your big man, small man match, but Scorp is by no means a small man. I don't know. It just kind of was a weird dance partner situation for me with this match.
There's no flow.
It just kind of choppy.
It was
I like the
because
finish,
because
finish,
of the
too.
dynamics of the back of
Right.
shit in the back, not what's
Right.
out there.
So is that the case, Hack, where like you see
Yes.
that people, if you guys don't get along outside of the ring, in the ring, it's probably not going to work.
It's going to be hitchy.
Even if like
It's going to be
Well, I
hitchy.
don't know, dude. Can you say that about Sean and Brett?
I mean
When
they
they were in the ring?
they were in the ring and they were
Yeah,
great.
but you got to understand, those two are two great guys. Their hitchiness is everybody else's best match ever.
True.
Right. But
Fair enough.
I think you can make it work.
I mean,
Well, yeah, you can, but a lot of times it doesn't pan out that way. And it's like Hughes isn't like a spotter, you know what I'm saying? And Scorp's
Right.
more, but Scorp can go strong with you too, you know what I'm saying?
You were like that with Cactus. You guys didn't like each other, but you could work
But
together.
yeah, it just
but you didn't have heat though. You right?
Well, they didn't have heat either,
Okay.
but the heat's in the air, dude.
Gotcha.
The heat's in the air. It's there, and everybody in the locker room.
and it can ruin some of the magic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There was
Great point, Howie.
No, this was a quick-paced match that we were slugging it out. Scorpio did a dive to the floor, but Mr. Hughes, I don't know what was going on there. If he just didn't want to sell for him, or
Yes,
it just was
exactly what went on.
It
I
just-
have that note.
the what with the dive.
Yeah.
It was just like, what's going like. You gotta sell like it's.
It was either that or it looked like he forgot the spot.
yeah.
Neither one wants to sell the other guy shit. That's what was going on.
Well, I mean that makes perfect sense.
I mean, you got to sell it to a point, but you're not. There's a difference between selling it and a difference between putting it over.
okay.
Yeah.
True.
Good point.
Hughes took like a weird bump off of a big boot to the face, and then Scorpio went out for a 450 splash for the.
That was tight.
It
Yep.
was a great.
Dude, the guy was like 3 feet away.
Yeah,
That was like diver type.
Those are more difficult than I think the further ones.
Yeah.
To hit that.
Close
To
to
Scorp,
stay
it doesn't
closer.
matter. For two, it's the dynamic of the match. He wanted to be close to that ring because he wanted Scorp to have to do what he did. He doesn't want to be 10 feet out.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
So
no,
he wanted
that,
to make it harder for Scorpion.
Exactly.
no, and that dude, that was tight 450. Like, and hit him
couldn't believe it.
perfect, too.
I
I
didn't even
know.
know. I'm like, what's Scorp going to do?
Yeah. That was good.
Remember I told you guys, it didn't matter. When I worked with Scorp, it didn't matter where you were in the ring. He would look between his legs, spot you, and hit you, dude. It just didn't matter.
I also hated the fact,
point.
and I don't know how you guys feel about this, when guys take a finish and then immediately kick out, like right after the 3 count.
I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you about that.
It's a lost
Hack.
art.
It's you like that?
What?
You like when a guy kicks out right after the 3 count? It's like, oh, you just got me, because I look at it as he's burying it. And is that the same way you look at it, Hack?
Oh, well, yeah.
Well,
Scorp hits it with the 450. Do lay there.
Right.
But I was going to ask you. Watching a lot of these older shows, that's like part of a lot of those finishes. Was that because like it's like you're trying to portray like, oh, he just got him? Like, is that what they did back in the day? Or
it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. You know what I'm saying? All right, I just took you 450, but you barely beat me. You know what I mean? And that was happening. What was the last?
But I think that should happen more in wrestling. No?
I kind of agree with you as long as both guys are cool with that going in.
Well, that is happening, but it's not the pin. You got to hit the guy 5 times.
There's a lot of 2.9 counts. This was like a 3.1.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say it also depends on how you're getting the finish.
How you get there.
You can't just kick out of a guy's finisher.
Yes.
You know, like the
Okay,
finisher's
I
the finish.
understand.
Like if it's like a small package, you 1, 2, 3, and then like he kicks out. I see
But if
that.
you remember when we were watching, when we did the show about the Halloween Havoc, every single one of those finishes was like that.
Yes, that's why I was
All
going to
those
ask
guys
you about
kicked
that.
out like 3.5.
That's why I was going to ask
That's
you
the way
about
it
that.
was
Is
back
that
then.
okay?
Okay.
No, and then it turned out to put the guy's shit over and die for him a little bit.
And lay out.
Yep.
Was
Okay.
that just so nobody? I don't want to say got buried, but nobody like.
Well, in our company, we weren't worried about like losing your job and stuff like that. It wasn't. It was
Looking strong, but
Yeah.
still losing.
Yeah.
Like losing and still looking strong because you just got beat.
yes,
Basically,
exactly.
is that
The
how
one-
it was?
well,
Okay.
yeah.
To me, I don't look at that as burying. I look at that as bringing realism.
No, bury's
To
not
wrestling.
The, yeah,
I see
bury's
your
not
point.
the right word.
To me, it's like it all depends on what you laid out, right? If the booker
So
wants,
just use it strategically.
yes, if the booker wants it to be, this guy's finished. We're putting this over like it's.
But
death.
nobody does that now. Nobody kicks out of 3.5 anymore. It just
Right.
doesn't happen. Guys pin and they stay pinned.
And I
actually-
think there's times where it makes sense where you could do it,
Absolutely.
especially if you're planning on those two wrestlers
Again
having
and
another
again and
match.
again.
Back
Yes,
when
agreed.
CM
Now
Punk
they
was
just do too many run-ins.
back when CM Punk was still in AEW, I was actually at the show. He had a match with Bobby Fish, and he hits him with the GTS.
Bobby, I saw a
And-
clip of that not too long
And
ago.
Bobby kicks out right at 3.1, and Punk was pissed, and they had heat over it, and he ends up not being in the company anymore, Bobby Fish.
No, but-
so I mean, you got to I don't know.
Honestly, I think people should do it more because they're doing a lot of the fuck finishes, like the small packages, the other shit like that. I think you look stupid being held down for the 3, like, and being. It's hard to explain. I think they should do it more because there's a lot of more of the like small package quick finishes. There's not. Unless it's like
and also people using multiple finishers.
well, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Unless there's like a 4 finisher finish. You lost my whole train of thought. Next.
It's my
finishers.
son. I had to have it on. I forgot.
yeah,
CJ
emergency,
gets a
yeah.
pass, but okay.
Puss.
So after the match, Mr. Hughes made sure to get his heat back by going after Scorpio post match, and then I don't know. I mean, like,
Well, Mr. Hughes said something on the mic afterwards, and then Scorp was like, "Nah, give me the mic," and made sure he had the last word. And then Mr. Hughes came back down the aisle, and then Scorp brought a chair with him.
and
See
he
how
no
it
sold the
was?
chair,
Yeah.
and he no sold the chair
And
too.
no
Yeah,
sold
you
the
guys
chair.
are
Yep.
getting
I know
exactly
because
what I was saying.
Scorp hit him with a chair, and I'm like, well, what the fuck was that?
I mean, like,
Like, he just got hit with a chair.
it's one thing if you're trying to build him up as like this unbeatable, like, just beast monster kind of guy, like, like a Lesnar type or a Vader type or something like that. But like, Mr. Hughes wasn't it. So I don't know. I'm gonna give this match.
Hold on, I got a quick hack story.
Okay.
So I don't even know what Hughes was doing with this in the Sandman, man. He must have needed a ride or something like that. So Todd's in the front seat. I'm driving. Hughes is in. There's two captains' chairs behind us. So somehow we end up talking, and Hughes told us this. He's like, you know what? Sometimes what I do is I get my bucka and I go stand out by the airport and I collect money and put my gimmick on. And me and Todd are like, what did he just say?
So he was
And so,
panhandling.
you know me, I'm like, wait a minute. You put your gimmick on and go stand on the corner at the airport with a tin bucket and collect money. He goes, yeah.
So he was panhandling.
Yeah.
What a worker.
With his gimmick on, with his black and white, like Mr. Hughes fucking suit on.
I mean, I can't knock the hustle.
Yeah,
He lived in Baltimore, but I'm like, wow.
Mr. Hughes, hope you're doing well, man. I don't know. What do you give this match?
Wait, I think I saw him at Wawa.
Yeah. What do you, I give this. I don't know. I'm going to stick to a 1.5 for this one.
I'm giving it 2 because I love the finish with Scorp.
Yeah. Okay. The 450 was great.
Scorp.
4 for Scorp. Ty.
I give it a 3. I actually thought there was pretty decent work in the match, considering.
Yeah, it was just super hitchy. I can't put this over. So, up next was the. This is. Awesome.
I can't put this over.
I can put this over because Iron Man Tommy Cairo comes out mocking Hack, which was great. I loved him.
I actually love that part of it.
I loved him coming out mocking him, like looking all blind. He really puts over the angle later, and it's building up to it, and like being a real dick, putting the stick in his eye and everything. Like it was great heel stooging. So at this point, so Cairo. He was feuding with you, Hack, right? You guys had a big feud for a while.
Have I pawned Peaches off on him yet? Was I hooking Peaches?
Yes.
Was I trafficking? What they would say now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's why she came out in your angle. Yeah.
Yes. And then Dreamer at this point is still. This is after the lashings, but he's still not quite the Dreamer that became Tommy Dreamer. He is rocking an ECW shirt, but he has on those stupid suspenders underneath it that you'd later see in the match. But Dreamer was super cut up at this point, man. Like, Dreamer is awesome shape. I know you guys always bust his balls for being fat, but man,
That's why he's got man boobs now.
Yeah, D-cup. Yeah, he was D-cupping it
Straight
up.
man boobs.
He was in great shape back here, man.
Yeah, he was D-cupping it up.
Yeah, he was like a real specimen back here at this point in time for Tommy.
Specimen.
Yeah, specimen. He was Jack chiseled, right? That's what you say.
Cut, rib, chisel, jack. Hey, you might be the same shape as Gardner, but you ain't got his dance.
Okay. So this was coming off the angle where Dreamer accidentally blinded you, Hack. So we'll get into a little bit more of that later, but Cairo was mocking it because he thinks it's funny because you guys were feuding as well.
Dude, he was in the beginning of our feud. He was the baby face. I was the heel. And it all comes full circle in the next couple of matches about people where it's like you're one thing, but the fans don't know it yet. You know what I mean? Because people aren't getting pops when they come out. Cactus, I think, got the biggest pop out of anybody when he went on his original entrance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? What was I just talking about?
You were talking about Tommy Cairo being...
Yeah, so I turned into the baby face by hooking my wife out, by trafficking my wife to him. That made me the baby. It made him the
90s.
heel because I would say, Tommy Cairo, pay your bills. And I would have the whole crowd chanting, pay your bills for me hooking my wife to you.
Yeah,
That's great. I know, but that's good shit. Nobody's ever even thought about doing an angle like that.
We'll talk about more with your angle, too, where it's
And you
like...
wonder why Mom hates you.
The way there's about 1,000 other reasons better than that.
So this match was, I don't know, man. It's just like brawling stuff, right? It's just like ECW fan brawling. The best part of this match was, I don't know who had it or how it got out there, but that pallet. It's just a pallet as a weapon.
Oh, he brought
Cairo.
it out there. But,
Cairo brought it out there.
But
okay.
yeah, before that, I thought the greatest part was when he threw Tommy over the railing into the two older ladies, and they were like loving it, and like all the right on the side there, and then I'm looking in the crowd and I see a
Left
bunch.
camera side, right?
Yeah, and I'm seeing a bunch of other like women in the crowd like cheering.
Dude, there was
everything
more
on.
women there than I ever remember ever.
I know. I was like, dude, there's a lot of women there, and they're like getting in it, like saying like, yeah, fuck them up, like all this other stuff.
Good looking redhead too.
And the two, Mary Kate.
No.
By the pillar where
Friend of
she
the show?
always was? Yeah,
Nah,
friend
there
of
was
the
another
show.
one.
Friend of the show.
I thought I saw Franny in there.
She could have been. I mean,
I know. I rewinded it a couple times, but I couldn't confirm it.
Yeah, I don't know. This was just like a brawling match, man.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
nothing.
like, there's really not even a lot of spots. I mean, they tried to do a couple pile drivers, but it was just like a weapons match.
It was weird. Cairo sold very well, but then he no-sold a bunch of shit,
It
too.
was spotty.
Because he was trying to get his spot in. Hey, we're all young right here, you guys. We're all super young and green, dude.
Yeah, it was
We're
funny.
still green as grass right here, all of us.
Tommy would hit him
the show
with
blows.
something, and he would no-sold, and then he would... What did he say?
Wait.
No wonder the show blows.
Yeah, I wasn't hired yet.
Yeah, there you go. It was
Yeah,
2 years
Macaulay
later.
Culkin's knockoff wasn't fucking hired yet.
Dreamer then went to work with Cairo. He gave him a couple of neck breakers, which I thought were pretty good. And then Cairo got...
Ooh, wow, neck breaker.
yeah.
With the shirt.
And he just said he liked to roll up earlier.
No, he was selling those. I mean, you're talking about no selling. He was selling those, all right. Dreamer then had a
Did
Singapore
like a roll.
Kane in, and then he got him down, and then Cairo was bleeding, and then Dreamer just kept hitting him right in the dick. And that was the finish. The refs stop it. There was a ref stoppage from cane shots to the dick. That was the finish.
Death by dick.
Death by crushed testes.
Yeah, I can hear what the refs
I
say.
don't know. It seemed like Tommy was like waiting for something else to happen. Like
Yes, I thought
Tommy
the same thing.
Dreamer. I was like, is something else like? Is somebody's got a late cue or something going on here? And it just like kept going on, and I don't know, and it led to nothing. But I thought he was dragging it on. Cairo's playing dead, and like Tommy keeps picking up his body, and I'm like,
Cairo might have been blown.
yeah, probably.
Okay, so I don't know. I mean, this was.
Tommy might have been blown.
I'm going to stick to my star rating again. I'm going to go 1.5 stars for this. Ollie, what do you give this guy?
Nothing.
0 stars. You're burning.
Garbage.
Oh my god.
He's mad. He's drinking that haterade hack.
Garbage.
4 stars, my boys in it.
4 stars, and that being
2
Tommy.
of my boys in
And I
it.
love
Tommy.
Dreamer.
Which
but
Tommy hack? Both of them?
Garbage.
Okay.
Well, it's got Dreamer and Mom's Pimp in there apparently.
Yeah, Ty, what do you give this man?
1.
Yeah, all right. So after the match, Dreamer beat up Tommy Cairo some more, and this was just
Mother beat up some more.
And a stretcher.
and a stretcher, which is again current pattern.
Well, we're trying to get Tommy hardcore right here.
Yes, and that's what he's on the way for this.
Yeah, you set it up with the balls finish thing where he's just a lunatic because he's had enough.
Do you remember that? Whenever the stretcher came out, they used to go whoop whoop whoop. No,
Old school. Up next on the show.
No,
was-
now that you said it, I remember it, but I didn't remember it.
How did you know you weren't hired yet?
Ooh.
I was still there, dog.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
all
it was
right.
always there.
I was scouting.
You were 5.
He remembers.
Dude, that
These are
dude's been
formative
at more
memories.
arena shows than 3/4 of the goddamn company.
I believe it. Yeah, absolutely. Up next was the ECW World Title match between Shane Douglas and Ron Simmons. So,
Damn.
we got to watch these guys
Good
work.
damn.
Yeah, pretty good damn there, Ollie. We got to watch these guys work last week when we reviewed Halloween Havoc 1989.
Ron was jacked.
Yeah, he was big.
Oh my
big.
god.
He was big.
He was a big boy.
Wow.
You could rip my head off with his bare hands.
Yeah,
And an athlete, dude.
one of the things so Hack, during this era, and it's the way that they presented Shane, and you see it later with the Shane promo. Shane was being presented as this world champion, calling out everybody else in the business.
Something nobody has ever done ever.
Right.
Yeah, because Joey puts it over in the match. He said Hogan didn't answer the call.
Yep.
And was it Flair? He's
Flair.
talking about Flair didn't answer.
Joey had like 10
he
great
said,
things.
He said all Japan. He started
Yeah.
naming everybody, and he's
Well, like
like,
Hack said earlier, a guy likes to talk.
yeah. But and the fans are
But
chanting.
that takes balls doing that too, dude. But the thing is, I didn't realize it until I was watching, I don't know, something came across my timeline that it was the Dynamic Dudes. I didn't realize Shane was in the business 10 years before I even started.
Yeah.
So Shane was there and back, and he knew to hate it, and he was hating it the way I learned to hate it when I got there. But I couldn't understand his hate then, you know what I mean? And his hate was basically an Austin hate. I'm really good, but you're not giving me a push.
Right. I'm not getting the opportunity to shine.
Exactly. So it's the same thing as Austin. You
These
know?
dinosaurs, these old guys on top, are not letting anybody else eat.
Yeah, but nobody called out like every champion and every company on the
Kiss
planet.
my ass.
Yeah, because why would you? I mean, like you're potentially burning bridges left and right, and everywhere, and you're getting a ton of heat too for doing it. And the fans are
But
chanting.
you're getting your name out there.
You're making your name.
At that point, he's like, dude, what do I got to lose?
Right. I'd already been in WCW. It didn't work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
At
at this point,
WWE.
well, no, he had not been to WWE
I thought the
yet.
dudes were WWE.
Dudes were WCW.
Okay.
So he was
I think he was at WWE.
He wasn't
somewhere before
WWE until '95. He goes to '95 and has the Dean Douglas run that was horrible.
Okay, yeah.
And then he went back to ECW. I mean, that was a terrible.
Oh, he was bumming.
Dean Douglas was awful.
He came back with his tail between his legs a little bit.
It's a shame, because if he got a mic anywhere else, dude, he could have...
No, but they probably hired him to make a joke of him.
Well, he was a teacher, so I think Vince likes to say, "What do you do for like what?
What do you do for a living? Let's make you an extension of that.
Right,
Yeah, Dusty was a plumber.
right. It's just garbage stuff, right?
Yeah, brother.
The crowd's chanting. What are they chanting?
No, but what you're saying is I've seen that happen with, like, they made Terry Taylor the Red Rooster. That was the same with Dusty. when they gave him the purple dots and stuff like that, that was a rib on Dusty. The Terry Taylor was a rib on him. So it happens. Believe me, it happens.
Yeah, they're salty about whatever your place in the business, the fact that you worked with a competitor.
Vincent ECW was a whole rib on ECW if you kind of look at it.
No, it really kind of was when they brought it back. Like it seriously was. I mean, like honestly, like what they did to the presentation of it and not taking it seriously and putting things like the fucking zombie out there when we reviewed that. It's like
on opening night.
Yeah, on opening night.
Greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Well, it got Hack over.
Yeah, finally somebody got him over. Thank God. This match though, I don't know, man. It just wasn't really that. Just something about it just didn't click with these two.
For me, it's funny because I thought Shane was doing a perfect heel match, yet the crowd was making him a baby.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, here we go.
Shouldn't he be smart enough to switch it?
Well,
They didn't go long
great
enough.
point, but there's a certain time
That's
to
true.
do that.
Only 6 minutes, 30 seconds.
Shane goes the crowd. It's like I got it. What's my big note here? It's like everybody's a freaking tweener right here, because Shane's getting booed half the match and getting cheered half the match.
Well, they're chanting "Death to Flair." You know what I mean? They're down with his character.
Yeah, but and it goes along with the Public Enemy too. Later, they're getting booed, they're getting cheered. So none of us are really over yet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But we're still sowing our oats with the crowd.
Yeah, and Ron was coming off.
Hack guy doesn't know yet.
Hack guy was sitting in front row.
But he doesn't know who to cheer for yet.
He's
Throwing your oats with Hack guy.
I got to give the guy next to him, I guess he might be the original sign guy, credit. He had a sign for every
everybody.
Single match and every
He should
single
have held
person.
them up higher though. I could never read the bottom of them.
No, but he had something for every single worker and every single match.
He was
I gotta
sign
give-
guy. Yeah, he was good. No, these guys. What's it? They were in. I just watched. All right, here we go. Dreamer texted me the other day. Goes, "This is so hilarious. You tripping before the match." I put it on and I'm like, I don't even barely remember, because when I say the guys that I've wrestled that were huge, like early in my career, I never mentioned Neidhart because I forgot about it. That didn't even happen.
Oh, in November we're in '93.
The Anvil.
Yes, the Anvil.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Dreamer texts me, he goes, you tripped. You tripped in the beginning and I can't stop laughing about
Yeah,
it.
the full surfer get up. Yeah, I just saw it on Twitter.
Yeah,
Just put
but
it
I
out there.
forgot all about that. The Hat Guy's in the audience there. The Hat Guy's in, that's like, and that might be, the college over in, what's the Valley Forge Military Academy? Or there was another college over there where we shot.
Cabrini?
Yeah, Cabrini. That could have been Cabrini right there.
Huh. Interesting.
So those guys were there. The Hat Guy was there from the fucking very first shows, dude.
Yeah, and it was those same three guys. It was the Hat Guy, the sign guy, and then the other
long-haired
older
guy.
the other older guy who wore the glasses
and in
and
this
had the
one,
white hair.
you can see Dave Shear standing up. Dave didn't have a ringside. He was always like 10 rows back.
Then the Dreadhead joined the crew later.
Yeah, and Isaac
Yeah.
Bruce too. Our
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, and I
So there was a couple things I liked in this, like Ron Simmons. We talked about it last week, man.
Dark.
He's got one of the best power slams in the business. His power slam is money. Like that's a great move. There's just not a whole lot in this match though. Like Douglas kind of. The Ron Simmons choke slam too. I thought he had a great choke. It was better than 911's.
Dude, he just snatched him at one point and picked him up and slammed his
Yeah,
ass.
it was right before the finish.
Right, I don't even know fucking Shane even jumped for it.
It was a great
he just
choke slam.
snatched him out of nowhere. Boom.
The finish of this match, though, it was a crucifix pin for the 1-2-3. Douglas retained the title here, kind of like a banana peel finish. I didn't love this.
don't think you should be able to crucifix Ron Simmons for a pin.
I don't either.
It's just like a flash out of nowhere pin.
Not with those
but
pythons.
I guess if you're trying to put over Shane as this great wrestler, doing so with a hold, kind of, I don't know. Maybe that's their idea behind it. And it also doesn't like Ron didn't eat a finisher or anything.
Oh, right
I
before.
know, but what was Shane here? Was Shane a baby?
Heel.
To the
Heel.
crowd?
Heel,
He was a
because he's-
heel. Then give him a chicken shit finish.
He's doing because he
Great
grabs
point, Howard.
grabs the photographer at one point. That's a
Kinda-
straight up heel move.
Kind of
He was
is
heel.
a chicken shit finish.
Oh man, I know what you're
I
saying.
know.
You're
But
saying
it's
cheat.
like Ron's too strong to be
You're saying cheat. Use knucks, something, kick him in the dick,
exactly
put on the ropes,
something like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. What were you going to
To
say?
establish him more.
But he's the champion.
Yeah.
I've seen champions use foreign objects.
right.
Yeah, good point though.
What were you going to say, Hack?
No, just the chop choke slam. Shane like chopped him twice, and Rock like looks at him and goes,
Nope. yeah.
All right, the triple C.
Dude,
Chop,
it was
chop,
like he
choke
was,
slam.
dude, it was like a cartoon to me when I backed it up a couple times just to see how funny it was.
Yeah, it was all right. I again for this match, I don't know, man. Let me see.
You can't even like.
I'm gonna go 1.5 stars again. Every match tonight.
I'm with you, Tosh, on that one.
It's just nothing
Because
here.
I don't even know where to go.
Hack. This is we're not on video, man. Can you speak?
4.
There you go. Okay. And why do you get 4?
My boy Shane is in there, and me and Ron got along great too in WWE.
There you
We
go.
would sit
I
around
love,
He
both,
was-
of,
he
I
was
love
there
both
to-
of them. It's just
He was
not
there
much
this
done.
weekend.
Yeah.
Him and Hack were talking a good amount.
Okay.
Him and Ron.
Nice.
JBL.
Yeah, JBL also. But
Clotheslining motherfuckers.
I
Still.
was back doing it.
Yeah,
Somebody said
he's
I didn't
everywhere.
even know it.
He's literally.
Dude, what's he getting 5 G's per freaking
I don't know, and I don't know what the like. I don't understand why like
I
these.
think it started on Twitter.
But he's doing it in all these different feds, and I don't know what
but
it's leading to.
I think I saw something that's saying
It's not
that,
leading to nothing to it. It's taking
no,
their
but I
money.
think I saw something about him on Twitter though that he actually got some sort of surgery for some body part or whatever, so he's actually been able to heal. And his body's actually feeling better, so he's been going around, I guess, maybe doing stuff
But
because.
he's like involved in
But
like
I
the
don't know the whole
finishes. Of,
rib behind it.
he's involved with like the finishes of the main event program for TNA's world title.
Yeah, somebody,
Like, it's
if
like-
one of the listeners
doing
have to
TNA?
fill in on the whole JBL rib and why he's going everywhere.
well, didn't he
Fill us
like
in.
purchase AAA or something?
No, that's a storyline. That's a story.
Okay, all right. No.
Yeah, he's going
I'm
down
not
in Mexico.
following
Yeah.
it. I'm
He's
just
going. He's
hearing
down
it.
in Mexico
Okay.
too. And
I got you.
What do you give his
Yeah, he's
match,
kicking him
Todd?
out the border.
He went to
Yeah.
Mexico and did his clothesline?
Yeah.
AAA,
Yeah.
What do you have to get on his knees to clothesline? What are the
Some of them are big guys. Hack.
No, it's
What-
a pinata.
What do you give the match, Todd?
4. I'm with Hack.
Wow, 4.
Dude, I really liked it. I thought Shane's work in the match was actually awesome, even though they were cheering him. But yeah,
No, it's like to me, it's good.
For 1994
It's all right, but like
1994.
I thought they could have did better.
They totally could. After the match, Simmons and Scorpio now were beating up on Douglas, and then
I'm not expecting much from Mr. Hughes, but
and then
Shane Douglas, Ron Simmons, you know.
Scorp should have got a raise for this show
Sorry,
after all he
Tom.
does.
Oh
with
my
an-
God, he worked like 5 times. He was involved in so much. They definitely were like, "Yo, dude, come on back out to the ring later." This is I don't know. And then after too, like Cactus Jack then came out to check on Shane Douglas. So it was just like, what the heck? That was just so weird to me. Everything post match there.
yeah.
I know it's like Cactus. You shouldn't be coming out when you have a match coming up.
But they had They kind of had a program though.
Well, they
right?
trained together.
Those two were boys.
They trained
and
together.
Everybody knew it. They were boys.
They trained together out in
Danucci.
yes, correct. Hack. Good pull by you. There you go.
I get
Dominic
one right
Dan-
every 1 in 100.
Yeah, only if you get the mic up to
Sandal
your
would have
face,
put
you
plus
loser.
4,500 on me knowing that
Dominic
number.
Danucci pull by Hack there. What?
I always know
was
that
gonna
was
say
Shane's-
Ben
Shane's
DiNucci,
dude.
the Cowboys quarterback. Ben DiNucci.
yeah. All right. This is the reason I really wanted to do this show, though. Out next is Bob Ortiz, and
All right, Bob.
Bobby!
Thanks for letting us do the show for you.
Bob from Springfield. Love you too, Lex.
Bob comes out, and Bob's in the ring, and he brings out the blinded Sandman with Todd Gordon, and the whole time,
Just pathetic.
first off, we got to talk
Fucking
about
phony.
we got to talk about this suit you're rocking, Hack, and the shirt.
I
is-
do like the undershirt.
The undershirt is
I do, I
awesome.
can't
It was
lie.
loud as hell. It was very
Nice.
90s. It was a great shirt. The suit itself, though, with the shoulders and everything.
I'm surprised the buttons weren't popping off.
I probably got it at Marshall's.
Okay,
Same
Mar-
place I bought these pants today. Marshall's.
Marshalls. There you go.
Hack got his PJ pants today. He found them.
Yes,
Happy, dude. I'm so happy.
he's very happy. They're not Zubaz though, so.
Oh, nice one.
So then this is like the blinding angle, Hack. So at the previous show, you're wrestling Tommy, and you got a cigarette and the cane, and the cigarette hits your eye, and the way that you sell it immediately afterwards was just awesome. And going into this angle and the genesis of
All right,
this,
hold on. That's all part that I have to thank Nancy for that totally. Nancy is a woman, if anybody doesn't realize who I'm talking about. Because I wanted to do my Tommy Rich. I saw it on like TBS. Tommy Rich with the white hair, the blood, like crawling through the audience and stuff like that. I wanted to do it like that. And I pitched it to her. She goes, "No, we're not doing it like that." Like that plain. That's how she. But she was much. She wasn't a worker, but she knew 150 times more than I did at that point. She goes, "No, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it like it's real. You're going to get hit. You're going to stay down there on the mat. Me and Tommy are going to look at each other, look at you, look at each other." So like we call them frozen moments in time. So it was her idea for it to be that serious.
Well, that playing it that serious was so smart because
She was.
And you really kayfabed it. I mean, you didn't go out of the house or.
You're
I mean, not that
poo-pooing
anybody's
that.
looking for you in
Nobody had a
94.
computer. Yeah, nobody had a computer in their pocket.
But still, though, you weren't
Right.
making sure
Yeah.
you weren't seen anywhere by anybody.
So you kayfabe it, straight up kayfabe. When you go to the building, you got the eye patches on.
No, I went. No, we put them on in backstage.
Okay, but when you're going to the building, like in terms of kayfabe,
Well, no, nobody see. I'm in my van. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I'm there hours before.
Smoking
everybody
dope in the
else.
tinfoil bowl.
smoking a
Lovely.
titty. Come on, man.
Totally.
Been doing
I had
it
a
for
titty
how-
in my hand my whole life. Just like I got this pen in my hand my whole life.
Okay, so but the selling of the angle and going out to the ring. This is still, even though it's 1994, you got a lot of sheet readers in the crowd. You got a lot of
Dude,
smart
I can
fans.
only see like the smallest crack out of those things. So I wasn't totally blind out there, but I could see like there was a little bit on the inside of like my one eye, so I could navigate a little bit.
If you had to guess in the crowd at this point, how many people, what percentage of the crowd
Oh
thought
my
it was real?
dude, they were writing into freaking oh my god, I saw it. I saw the blade flying in the air. It's like I was supposed to be gigging myself, but people were thinking Tommy hit me, and that freaking the blade gigged me, broke in half, and there was a part flying like it was in a movie, and the sun would shine on it every time it turned. You know what I mean? Yeah, there was a big everybody we got everybody in the front row.
Okay.
Like all those super hardcore fans in the hard camera, we got them.
Because I was watching
We got him.
I was watching Hat Guy, and the way he's clapping for you as you're coming out here, it was like you could see that
It's like, oh, this is the end.
this was something sincere on his face,
Yeah.
right? So if you had to take a
Got
guess, what percentage of the crowd is taking this as a shoot?
Well, I didn't care about like a lot of them because I didn't know how smart they were. I'm focused on getting the smartest ones there.
Okay, you're trying to work the smartest guy.
Smartest freaking ones there, dude.
Which
you get them.
You
you're
would think is Hat
God.
Guy.
Yes.
So if Hat
Yep.
Guy's clapping, if you got
Sign guy
You
was the
got
one that
everybody.
came up with the theory that he saw the blade flying in the air.
What percentage though? Give me a percentage number that you think believed
I only
it.
cared about 10% of them
Okay, all right. So you're not gonna give a percentage.
because I don't know if the other ones are into it enough to even believe it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that Joey's on the mic, and I kind of thought he was overselling it a little bit. Like he sounded like he was about to cry, Joey, when he's doing the call. Like he was kind of a little too much, a little hammy. But overall though, Todd's
bite your tongue about Joey's
I
style.
love Joey. I just thought he was doing he was a little too hammy on this.
Joey, I
That's all.
love you, dude. You're the greatest announcer ever.
All right,
Easily.
you were
Do a
this-
whole show by yourself.
This promo that you do here in the ring, at this point in your career, had you ever had like this much mic time in a
Never.
segment?
Yeah, you could tell because this was the shit.
No,
Yeah, it
I thought
was.
he was great. I thought you were awesome in this.
Well, I'm not supposed to be like, no, but I was, this is one of the first promos I ever cut.
Right? And
No, but no.
Like live in the ring.
No, it
Yes.
wasn't that bad, but you can tell that it's definitely
Yes.
one of the first. If you know
Yeah,
what you're watching,
absolutely.
you can tell.
I could.
that's why I
Yeah.
asked. So like you were, and Todd's out there trying to put
Well,
this
they
over with
should
you
have been
too.
out there because I had to reiterate myself. So the cue was late
Okay.
because I said the line twice.
What was the line when people were
I
supposed to
don't
come?
know, but I knew they should have been out there to not make me have to say it twice. I don't remember exactly what it was. I'm like, well, why am I reiterating what I just said?
Yeah. Well, you said you're you have nothing to apologize for, and that you were extreme, and that Then out came Miss Peaches. So your mom comes out
Oh
here.
my God, she was looking. Oh Jesus,
Really,
Wow,
really
she was
strong.
great.
But I thought she was great in this too because obviously
She did great.
she did.
She always did great.
She did fantastic in this, and like it looks like $1 million, and it delivers her lines perfectly. Like I don't know if I want to hit you or kiss you, which was a great
But then
line.
she's looking down at her boobs.
Yes. And
She's feeling. No, dude, but she got to understand. She's feeling herself right now. She knows she's hot as shit.
Yes.
Once she got those boobs, it was when she walked through a room, it was totally different from pre-boob to post-boob.
Well, your line to her too is
I know, this one was good.
I can't. I don't know what you look like.
I think
don't
this was
care.
Todd's line. Todd
I don't
gave us
care
to
if you gain weight and you're fat. I don't care.
That was good. I actually popped
It
at
was
that.
such a good line. It was so good. And then you guys, she kisses you, and then right as you go to kiss her, out comes Nancy, interrupting with the mic, saying, "Excuse me." And then she ruins this moment, and she canes the hell out of her, right? Which was
No,
great.
Nancy's real. She knows it's got to be a shot, because she's got to lay there for like 3 minutes in the rest of the angle.
Right. So she lays her out here. And then you're kind of backed in the corner. And you're just feeling
I'm
yourself
looking
out.
at this little freaking spot. I can only see this tiny bit.
This is what I like about it, too, because it's a turn, but it's not a straight-up turn. The push that you give to Todd...
Nobody still knows what's going on.
The push that you give to
Right.
Todd...
Yep. That was Todd.
It was great because you knock Todd down, but the way you're selling it, you still, as the audience, can say, well, he's just blind. He's feeling himself out.
Hey, you notice I go to the back, I'm backed into the corner, so
Right.
you have to come at me from this angle.
Right, which was perfect. And then out comes Tommy. And then Tommy's coming out, and because she's going to cane you now, right? And Tommy comes out, and this is where you can hear the crowd pop because you must have started pulling off the bandage.
But and they didn't
this.
show it until
Right.
the bandages were off. But when I go like this, it's like a Silence of the Lambs thing.
Well, you hear
and
the
they
crowd.
were getting with it.
You hear the crowd. The crowd
Yeah.
just starts to come.
They're
they
like,
come
oh
up.
shit!
Yes, we just got worked.
Just like Funk just got underneath the fucking Funk out of the box.
Yeah.
It was safe. I got goosebumps now.
It's amazing. Like it's honestly like perfectly executed shit.
And I'm like, dude, and I'm feeling it right here. I'm like, oh, we got
And you
him.
guys beat the shit out of Dreamer. You leave him laying.
Oh, dude, I had a metal belt on. That belt that I pull off is a metal belt. And you can't see it, but the one time... See, Tommy, it's like, listen, there's some people... Like, if I'm going to whack you, if I'm going to hit you, and then I want to whack you 30 times, I tell you, lay flat on the mat, and I will hit the mat on the other side, and you're going to feel basically nothing. But Tommy never wants to go down and show his back. He's always like this.
Yeah.
So it's hard to fucking, to swing the cane and hit him. So, and I had the metal belt. He didn't even know I was doing this. So then I pull out the metal belt to in my mind, I'm like, all right, I'm going to enhance this a little bit more. He came back with a fucking fat lip, fucking bleeding. You see a little bit of it on the camera right there. His right upper lip. Yeah, but I nailed him with the belt, which I didn't want to, but shit happens.
Shit happens, and then you know what?
Shit happens, dude.
What I loved about this turn and everything, it's basically like a double work that you faked your blinding so that Tommy would then have to face off with Tommy Cairo, and then take care of your business there for you. And it's like a heel putting a baby face against another heel. It's a
It's
a massive
Dude,
plan.
that was brilliant.
It's a massive
None
plan.
of it was me. I was
it's
acting at that point.
No, I know, but it's all just like
shit.
all the different layers of it. It's genius, and I love the crowd coming unglued and popping when you finally take out your cigarettes and you light up a cigarette. The crowd popped huge for the cigarette smoke.
They sure did.
I listen. If you guys have never seen this angle unfold, please watch the show just for this because it really is like a magical wrestling moment. Like for a wrestling angle, this is a 10 out of 10. Like I absolutely love this angle.
Oh yeah, it's deep, and and the thing is, it's like I'm doing it, and I don't realize it, like how good it really is. But none of this shit's ever. All right, there was a blind angle somewhere before.
Junkyard Dog down in Mid-South.
Yeah, okay, you know what I'm saying, but it was like then that was one of my jumping off points in my career. That was like being a backup guard for a team that's playing in the NBA for in the finals, and you come in and just drop like 31 game. You know what I mean? That's what that's like. But I didn't know it when I was doing it. But that's what I was doing. You know what I mean? Well, I got the 10 lashes, then I got that. I got the funk out of the box. You know what I mean? But there's things that just get you more over and over and over.
Yeah.
Paul would just keep giving me the ball and let me run.
Now, on this angle, was this a design by Todd or Paul or like Nancy? I mean,
No,
like,
I'm sure it was
group
Paul.
effort. You
No,
think this is Paul?
yeah, it was Paul, but then the rest of it was a group effort.
Okay, so it's Paul, kind of with like the general outline
Well, you
idea.
got to understand, Todd's talking to me out there, like
I see him.
telling what to do. He's also telling Peaches what to do too, but nobody knows it. You know what I mean? Like while I'm talking on the microphone, Todd's telling her something. You know, shit like that. You know what I mean? It's got to be like that.
Yeah, well, just tremendous. I mean, have you guys ever seen this before? This angle, Ty?
I've seen clips, but not in its like full entirety.
yeah.
Yeah, like not in its like full entirety.
Yeah, I mean, and your mom too, Ollie. Like your mom was so good. Like she was a great performer in her own
Dude, she
right.
was always good. When she was a dope addict for freaking Raven, she just like, yeah, I got this.
I was about to say, where do you think I got it from? I mean, it was just
She
what
was
we
great. Dude.
just what we did.
Every time we gave her the ball, she ran with it.
Yes, and this is certainly running with the ball here. Just like
I know, and Heck totally outkicked his coverage on that.
yeah, man, dude.
Oh,
Seriously.
dude, honestly, yeah, everybody knows that.
This was just awesome stuff. So definitely check this angle out if you guys have never had the chance to see it. It's real ECW history. Up next on the show was Joey Styles on the stage area interviewing Shane Douglas, and this was just so long of a promo.
Oh my God, he said the same thing like 4 times in a row. He would just reiterate the same lines.
It was too long. It was
I
not.
just fast forwarded it after a minute. I was like, yeah,
It was not one of his best. And then what interests me is he talked about.
All right, that's Paul trying to give him freaking that mic time like that. Think about it. That's like Paul, like, yo, go hone your craft out there in front of this live crowd. It's kind of what it is, you know.
Yeah, I get the idea behind it, but it was not one of his best promos. He
Yeah,
talked,
but he wasn't great at promos yet.
which is how you have to get better.
You know why? Because he didn't do his ha 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 ha. His laughing is his thinking. He didn't do any of these promos, but later on, when he would laugh, that was his thinking part to get him to the next segment.
Oh, that's true.
When you watch it later, watch him.
I believe it. He says he's bringing in Sensational Sherry to come back and manage him.
on the phone and stuff like that.
And they're building up to a match.
I didn't see him dial.
A couple weeks later. So he says it's going to be Ron Simmons and Scorpio taking on.
Did that ever happen?
It did, but Brian Pillman was in there instead of Austin.
Oh, okay.
So Austin didn't come in until '95.
Because I thought I was the only one to work with Austin.
Yeah, so they announce Austin at the show here, but he doesn't come in until a year later or so. So
Wow.
Just-
Is that right? A year later?
a year later, yeah. Weird stuff.
Wait a minute. So was that when Austin was going to WCW? Did Austin not show up for us because he started with WCW
No,
then?
he had already been in WCW for like 4 years.
So
by this
then
point.
why would Paulie put himself out like that and say stunning? And did you hear a person in the crowd yell Steve Austin before
he said it?
announced
Yes,
it?
I did. I
That
did
was
hear that.
weird too.
It was. I think there was a couple guys who had like some freedom to work extra dates in WCW at the time.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's
'Cause-
how it was back then.
Because you had a couple guys that came over from WCW to work for you at different points, like Bobby Eaton, Arn Anderson did a couple shots with you guys. You had Cactus at one point was still contracted with WCW, but he worked ECW as well, like on weekends. So I think it was kind of like something like that at the point in time, and not like on the outs or anything. Up next on the show was the ECW World Television title match between Dean Malenko, who's managed by Jason Knight at this point, and the Tazmaniac, Taz, your boy, Taz. Dean was in the middle of his like shooter gimmick, the Iceman, and then like Taz is still figuring himself out here. He's
Tweener. He was booed and cheered at certain times in this match.
but I feel like both these guys were kind of tweeners.
Well, yeah. Well, you got to understand if Dean was a stronger character, because you know Dean was more of a Japanese style, like him and like Furnace, Stefan, Benoit. You know what I mean? Guys with not great personalities on the mic. You know what I'm saying? But if Dean was more of a personality, he could have totally buried Taz right here.
Yeah, definitely.
But I couldn't believe the pop for the first spot. It's like Taz gets no pop when he comes out, but then there's a reversal, and he dumps Dean on his head. The place goes wild.
They love the suplex. That was the release German, I think. Or
Yeah.
Was it, yeah. There was just not really much in this match, and it was quick. How fast was? How long was this match?
I got
5
hated
minutes.
finish.
5-minute match. The finish was just Malenko was like putting Taz out with a towel. Like that was the finish.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't get it. I thought it was terrible. Like,
it wasn't good. I mean, there was nothing to the match really, to be honest with you.
5 minutes that you get for the match.
And between these two guys, I think that they do have a better match in them at certain points of their career. But again, man,
Oh, both of them could have had a great match right there.
Right.
But that was all that was warranted.
yeah, I'm sticking to it. I'm gonna go 1.5 stars on this match. 1.
4, because my boy Taz is in it.
There you go. He said it. There you go.
Gotta put him over.
Gotta put him over.
This is the best ECW show of all time,
Yeah,
according to
there's-
Hack.
dude, it's straightforward. Ty, what do you give it?
Half.
Yeah,
That's
half.
There was nothing there for me.
Yo, there's a little double underhook thing that I want to show you guys. I don't know if it's going to translate on the podcast, but a double underhook is like if you're facing a wrestler, right, and you're doing the double underhooking, imagine like grabbing his head and shoving his head down towards your cock. Then you pull both of his arms back above his head. Then you put your arms and lock them in. You know what a double underhook
Yes.
is?
Yeah.
Watch what the safest fucking thing I ever seen at maybe anybody ever do, because a lot of guys, because there's a release point on there.
He laid him
gotta
out good.
shove the dude out
Yep.
and freaking release him so the guy doesn't land on his head. So Dean's not a strong guy. Taz is probably heavier than him right here. Taz ain't a huge jumper, but when Dean flipped him up, he took his two hands, pushed his shoulders to make sure he doesn't land on his head.
He laid him out perfectly.
Yes, that was great shit by Dean.
Safe, smart wrestling there.
Yep.
And this is one
Take
of those.
care of people.
You only get breakdowns like that on the Sandman podcast, man. That is a pro's pro telling you about the execution
No,
of.
Dean looked great in the match. It was just there was nothing there, like his selling, the moves, like all that was good. There was just nothing about the match.
Well,
Yeah.
I know, and also too, a little bit right here. I'm not so sure Dean wants to put anything over Taz wants to do.
Yeah,
Right.
probably.
Oh, well,
Honestly,
he did take a
Dude,
couple
you gotta-
suplexes for him.
Yeah,
But he's
okay.
also just the Tasmaniac at this point. He's not even Taz.
Yeah.
So why are you going to put the Tasmaniac shit over?
Yeah.
Same, yeah. You know what I mean? You got to understand. Dean has been through the Orient. You know what I mean? Dean is over in everywhere in the United States, everywhere except the United States.
Right.
Dean is literally over on the planet back then with the guys that I just told you about that he was rolling with.
Yes. Yes. Up next on the show, this was the ECW World Tag Team Title match with Cactus and Mikey taking on the PE. This had some weird ass rules
The
to it.
camera was the shit. You couldn't see what anybody was doing.
It was a clusterfuck.
It was total cluster.
So the rules are you got to knock somebody out for
Oh, wait,
a 10
I
count.
was worried about. I'm like, wait, when they got back in the end, why were they counting? And then I figured it out. You had to. That's when the count started. When somebody was down for 10.
When somebody went down for 10, if they were down for 10, then you got allowed to use the baseball bat. And then a pin needed to happen in the ring. That's what I took away from the rules for this.
Yeah. It was
PE
a,
always-
Baseball bat was part of the rules?
Yes,
Yeah.
they got to use the baseball bats, and then at
you,
that
had to
point,
keep,
that one.
you had to keep them down for a 10
Yeah,
count,
see?
and once they were down for a 10 count, you were allowed to use
All
the
right,
bat.
so
and
what
then,
did the other guys get if there was? If,
they was both
Talk about a
baseball
gimmick
match.
match.
oh, it was baseball bats for both of
Yeah,
them.
the PE always had crazy gimmick matches. Hack, like it seemed like every time the PE was involved in a match, it was some kind of crazy gimmick. Like,
Okay, here we go. This is one of the most telling things about the whole pay-per-view is how smart our fans are. This is a total heel move like back in the day. Like if you just want to go out there and kill time, you're working Mid-South, whatever, you're like right before semi-main, and you're like, oh no, well we're leaving, and then the PE leaves, and then the ref's supposed to count 1, 2, and like they leave, and all of a sudden the crowd doesn't buy it at all, and then next thing you know they're in the match and the match has started. Did you guys even notice that?
yes, it was corny. I don't know, man. This was just your brawling PE match. It wasn't really a good showcase for Cactus. Mikey's bumping his ass off here, and Mikey's just like a
Yeah, when they were all right, here we go. When they're using him as the battering ram, right?
Yes.
Cactus is standing like right next to him. They're getting ready to count Mikey like 8, 9, and all Cactus instead of Cactus helping Mikey up, all he's worried about is the next spot for him to double clothesline to be. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yeah, the psychology in this was all over the place.
There wasn't any.
Yeah, it was not really much of a match. It was just kind of a wild brawl. Finally, they were allowed to use the baseball bats after was Mikey. What happened there?
Mikey was down for 10.
Mikey was down for 10. So then they got the baseball bats out, and then they went out to the outside of the ring, and they were brawling around, again, the staging area, which is pretty popular tonight. And then, I don't know why, Sabu, Joey tried to cover for this, saying, Sabu's the tables are my thing, you can't use a table. That was his justification.
Well, Teddy used one before Sabu did it in the ECW arena.
That was his
You almost
fact.
overshot Teddy.
Oh, no, he did. He pushed him too fucking hard.
Yeah,
Teddy hit the top rope and then went all the way off of that stage down to the floor.
Yeah.
Good job, Ollie, catching that.
He
I was like, oh shit, he pushed it way too hard.
It was. And then after, when Cactus did the Cactus elbow on another table, I was worried because it seems like it's tight up there.
It is, dude. It's only 10 foot.
Not even.
Yeah, it's only 10 foot wide.
That was whoa. When I'm watching, I'm like, is he going to overshoot this too? But he hit it crisp and perfect, and I mean, that looked really cool. That was by far the best spot in the match. And then they go back, and then Grunch had him in there. Sunset flip for a 2 count, and then the baseball bat shots for the pin gave the Public Enemy the tag team titles here at this point. This is, again, I don't know. I'm going to go 2 stars. This was the best match of the show. Let me go with that there. 2 stars I'm going to give it for this match. Ollie, what do you give it?
I'm going 3.
Okay, yeah.
Because I kind of agree with you on that one, that it was the best match, with Scorp and Mr. Hughes being a close second to me. But, yeah, I mean, there's a couple good spots in the match, especially the table spots, so... Yeah.
Table spots were cool.
Yeah, 3.
Good point. Dude, it's but if you look at this, what we did right here, and then 2 years later when you got the mat, it's night and day.
Totally.
Literally, when you got Psychosis and Rey Mysterio going at it, freaking Dean and freaking and Eddie. Wow. It's it was crazy to me, how the infants. I didn't realize that we were all just so goddamn green.
Everybody on this card.
Yeah,
with a couple of exceptions, but yeah.
Wow, we were so green.
What do you give
4?
Yeah, what do you give this match?
Oh yeah, 4.
Yeah, you got the PE in it. Yeah, you got Mikey in it. That's a lock.
boys
That's
are-
a lock. That's a lock of a 4. Ty.
It was a 2, and that's only because the people that are in it and the table spots. I mean, going out in the crowd. But other than that, it was pretty much a clusterfuck.
Yeah, clusterfuck ECW tag there. But the Public Enemy were celebrating with their belts, and then Mikey got helped out of the ring to some applause, and then out came Todd Gordon. And this is something I liked, the way this show was, and I guess kind of recorded. They kept a lot of this stuff in, and Todd's coming out and he's hyping up the next card at the ECW arena in a couple weeks, and he's running down the card. So I thought that was pretty funny that he was doing. And you got Kevin Sullivan coming into the show, and then
Cactus comes out, says Kevin Sullivan, and Todd's like, Kevin Sullivan? Here?
yeah,
Here?
yes,
As in if Todd wouldn't know or something like
and
that.
the Malenko brothers. So you're
Yeah.
bringing in Joe Malenko as well. So
Who?
Dean Malenko's brother,
Who?
Joe.
Mike Jones?
Nobody knows Joe Malenko.
Nobody knows Joe Malenko.
Nobody.
Okay. Well,
Doesn't he run that car dealership down the road?
Yeah, in Florida, Tampa.
up next, and this is the main event. So this is Chris Benoit taking on Sabu, and this was supposed to be like an ECW death match. And
Wow. I had no idea that it was the opening spot.
well, yeah, it
I
was,
was about to
Basically,
say, I didn't realize
it was
how
within
early
a
it was
minute of the
either.
match.
Me either. I didn't realize how.
And great job by everybody else just filling the friggin'.
because okay, so
That's all on the fly, people. When you watch this, Sabu breaks his neck. Everything else is off the cuff. Paulie's yelling, sending people out there. Go out there, do this. Go out there, tell this guy this.
Paul's out there.
Yeah. So
Well, 911 originally is trying to get. He's like, dude.
Let's break it down. Okay, so it looks like, and I watched a Sabu interview before the show because I wanted to see what his take was on this too. So I watched it on YouTube, and we'll put a link of that up there. But Sabu said the spot that he was expecting was a flapjack. So he gets him, and
He's trying to go face first.
right, and Chris is trying to back body drop him. So it's just a miscommunication between them. And
Oh man,
and Sabu eats this on his neck.
brutal.
And you see it, and ECW played the shit out of this clip the rest of eternity of Sabu landing on his neck and breaking it down.
Dude,
in
it's
great
one of the
detail.
like you
It's
just want to
disgusting.
look away like
It's insane. It's insane that he.
Just saying, same thing happened to me, and I finished the match.
Oh God! Oh God!
Sabu, I love you. I just had to say that.
There you go. But this was like Sabu takes this, and for Sabu, who was constantly putting his body through pain, to immediately roll out of the ring and then alert Paulie and 911 that he was fucked up. Can you imagine, for somebody who has a high pain tolerance like Sabu, for him to say, "I'm hurt," that means a lot. Like
You just landed on your fucking head.
and that's it, and he's out. And
Dude, we've seen the guy gash his arm from his thumb all the way up
Yeah,
to
go
his
get some
shoulder.
duct tape.
And wrap it.
his fucking chin when he busted it, wrapped the duct like around his head.
With me in the match, but
Yeah.
now 3 teeth in his mouth.
The craziest part about this is Sabu is back working a week later, and then he does a tour of Japan for FMW and New Japan in the
I kept
following
working.
weeks. It keeps working after this. I know you
but
did.
you didn't know.
Yes, you had an idea, but you didn't really know. Sabu knew that he broke his neck here, and it's insane. And like you said, Hack, like whenever you're a wrestler and you get in a situation where you gotta go on the fly, whether the ring breaks or somebody no shows, or like walk the audience through what that's like as a wrestler.
Well, dude, you got to be quick on your feet, and believe me, there's probably, I mean, in an existential, like, serious circumstance, there's probably 1 out of 10 that it just comes to them. All right, this is what we're doing.
Well, Chris did a great job of stooging and stalling.
Oh
So
yeah,
he was
yeah,
stalling.
Chris knows.
He was stalling.
And
so
then Paulie's sending shit to the referee to go tell Chris. So you got to understand, the referee's a great communicator for you. So if anybody's listening and they're just getting into the business, use the referee to go tell the other guy what you want to do.
Chris did a great job of Finnegan's like backing him up, and you can see Chris is telling him to go tell 911 what the first spot is, and then
Right.
Chris takes a powder, and then the ref goes over to 911 and says, "Yo, back
And you
up,
see how
back
it's
up."
kind of
and there's a-
iffy when he goes in. He doesn't
Yeah.
really know.
Right.
Because Chris knows that Al ain't the
It's-
greatest.
it's not a worker.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So Chris knows that Al can't just go on the fly.
right, and I guess they called the spot for a choke slam and an impromptu pin.
Right, yeah,
and then
right.
so 911 kind of gets a pin on Benoit, but it didn't really happen.
Well, and the fans kind of poo-pooed the first fucking
'cause
choke
they do-
slam in the pin, so he just picks him up again and he gives him another
Yeah.
one
And-
for like good measure or whatever.
And then all the guys in the locker room then proceed to come out. And it's like a parade of guys and people that I didn't realize were there. Like Stevie. I didn't realize Stevie was even there at this point. I mean, he must have been on the ring crew. And Joey's calling everybody out, and it's like Donnie Allen. It's like the whole locker room's clearing out here at this point. Do you remember anything about being backstage
Yeah,
at
I'm
the
like,
show?
no, I'm good.
You declined to go out, or because of the
Well, he
angle?
just
or-
recovered from being blind, so.
Okay, it's literally like everybody's coming out here. It's waves of people. You got the PE, you got Benoit, you got Cactus, you got Squirt.
Talk about a cluster.
You got
Oh,
Taz.
yeah, it was such a
Taz
cluster.
wearing Tasmaniac is now wearing like plain clothes and like it's
He was beat.
Yeah, he was in like FUBU sweats and like whatever, but like was like, oh,
yeah.
me Taz.
Yes.
With, like, and,
Yes.
yeah,
Regular clothes.
I didn't know. It kind of seemed weird that he was rocking regular clothes. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
and
dude.
Scorp comes out and they start like doing their thing, and then I guess they tried to make it somewhat of an impromptu match, but nobody kind of knew it was like an impromptu match, and then
So
it
this-
just ended up being like and nobody wins. And
Well, then this was all ad-libbed, and eventually, like, Joey says the show's over, and then Benoit gets on the mic, and then he cuts a promo on Sabu, and then out comes Scorpio, and then we get, like, a random...
Because those two can work off the... Just call it out there, boys.
And you got to give the fans something that just paid for the show.
Right.
Call it out there, boys.
The fans are expecting a Benoit and Sabu main event, and you just... Unfortunately, we're not able to deliver on that match. You got to give them something. They call it on the fly. It wasn't their best work, but for what it was,
you don't even know the
they
finish.
did a couple good spots.
they did a couple good spots.
Right,
but
but like you don't even know the finish. Like you're
No.
just out there calling spots.
Yeah, they
so,
were waiting to get the finish from the ref.
Yeah, right. Whatever it was, and he threw him outside, and then they were like, and that's it. Nobody
yep,
wins.
That's it. Nobody wins, and we just kind of throw it all out. And yeah,
That's it.
Afterwards, after the match, the baby faces of Scorpio, Cactus, and JT Smith. With the Bad Breed, then cleared out the ring, and then Scorpio.
Kevin Thorne?
No, the bad Breed.
Kevin Thorne?
That's a bust
Was
up
it
Weren't
name.
they the Bad Breed?
No, he was the vampire. He was the vampire.
No, but weren't they considered the Bad Breed?
stiffest
Were
elbow
they?
in the
Him?
business.
Oh, the
What?
new breed.
Oh, the
Sorry.
new-
Wow,
new-
Ty, stop pulling at me.
The
No, it was
new
him,
breed.
Elijah Burke,
Elijah Burke,
and,
yes, the guys.
Marcus Corvon.
That's right,
and-
yeah.
I fucked them up at WrestleMania.
Mania, there you go. Your Mania moment hack. All right, but this show. I mean, can we even give the main event? I can't even give that a star rating.
Dude, I have to give it a 4 just because of getting through the moment.
Yeah.
Well, they did a great job of pivoting on the
Getting through
fly.
the moment.
Yeah.
You know, but like overall, just a complete mess. And I mean, thank God that Sabu was able to have a career after this and everything.
Seriously.
Like, I mean, like think of all the things Sabu did after this point in 1994 that he was able to do the rest of his career.
Hey, look at Hayabusa. You know
I
what
know.
I'm saying? It's like one of those things.
It's something that, like, you know, wrestling fans, like, and myself, I take this for granted sometimes, what you guys all in the ring
That's
do.
why I have to give 4s to people.
Yes. I like,
You
even
gotta
when,
have the respect for being in there.
yes, even when I'm being critical of performers, like performances and matches, it's like, even the most routine, mundane spot could
Yep.
result in somebody being seriously maimed or injured. So like I do have immense respect for everybody that's ever put boots on, man or woman, and everybody who gets in the ring and does that. Like I was thinking about, like, yeah, you ever watch Dale Earnhardt when he had that crash that died? It wasn't the craziest car crash you ever saw.
Dude, just hit the wall. Like,
It's
Hayabusa's neck broke on a moonsault off the rope that he does.
8 zillion times.
right.
How
And
many
it's-
times he ever done that in his life?
Yes, and it's just like, you know, not to be too serious, but like, you know,
never know.
As a fan of the business, you got to respect what these performers put themselves through, putting themselves at risk for our entertainment at the end of the day. So
and that's how
it's,
people are like, oh, yeah, it's fake. I'm like, hey, listen, my pops is probably has like 6 diagnosed concussions, diagnosed by a doctor. Not to count however
20
many
some
there
broken
was.
bones.
30 plus broken bones. It's choreographed. Yeah, there's an ultimate winner, but when they're in there, they're doing what they're doing. You
Right.
know, that's no like pillow fight. Just
No.
whatever. Like these guys go out there and they put their bodies on the line every single night. You know, some back in the day, like 350 days a year. You know, it's a little bit different now, but still. Like that spot you said, Sabu thought he was taking one thing, Benoit thought it. That can happen at any time, at any point, in any match.
Yeah.
And your career could be over just like that.
Just like that.
So,
You gotta think of,
Any regular person, go run the ropes for a half hour, your back's going to be bruised the next day.
well, or no. Just take yourself, start out 5 yards
Take a back
away,
bump.
and run against a wall, a padded wall, and just keep doing that. Oh, man, all right. The AEW matches right now, they used to say that like a superplex off the top rope is equal to a 30-mile-an-hour car crash. So imagine putting your body through 20, 25-mile-an-hour car crashes 3 nights a week. You know what I mean? Take 60 of those 25-mile-an-hour car crashes.
It's crazy. It really is. So my ultimate point is just have respect for the performers, even if you think they put on a shitty match, because it's like the stuff you guys do.
Yep.
It's absolutely incredible. It really is, and just immense respect for everybody involved in the business at the end of this day. So overall, this show, I don't think it was ECW's.
All right, I want to hear your guys' overall numbers for the show.
I mean, it's a historic show because of those two, the angle and the injury, but To me, this is like a 2. 2 out of 10, I'm going to give it. Ollie?
Yeah, 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. Hack?
4 just because of my angle.
Well, so 4 out of 10 or what?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, why did we change from 5 to 10?
I don't know. We
7.5.
7.5, Ty?
I'll go 6.5.
I don't think it's something that you guys got to see as fans out there, but it's interesting.
No, watch the blind angle.
Watch
I'm telling you, that's good. It's just good business.
It's a
really.
good biz,
it's,
bro.
No, it's a great piece of business, Hack. It's not good business. It's great.
And
piece of
Hack
business.
Myers versus JT Smith.
Yeah, there you go.
Sha.
Next week's show, we are reviewing November to Remember 1996. Hack, you take on Raven for the ECW World Heavyweight title, and Tyler, you are directly
Did
involved.
I have it or did he have it?
I believe you had it at the time. I'm not 100%. But Tyler, you guys are involved. This is the first time we're really touching on some of the Raven, you, and Hack stuff. So.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Yeah, listen
This
to
will
him
probably be
putting
the best
himself
ratings
over.
we get of
Yeah, we're gonna put over Scotty. We'll be putting over Scotty for 3 hours next week.
Ah, damn.
Not you
It's
at all.
a double whammy.
Yeah, it's a double cross. We got you. Guys, you can send us in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com. Please leave us a city and a state. Hack needs that. That's a requirement for these questions.
Yep.
Or else they're going to get screened and not put in. So here we go. Eric H. from Sycamore, Illinois writes in.
All right, Sycamore.
New listener here, guys. New write-in here.
Welcome aboard.
Hey guys, insert typical love for the podcast comment here. I recently found out about the podcast on X, we call it Twitter still, and started listening. Been a fan ever since. My question for the Sandman is, what were the full plans for you being Raven's preppy neighbor in WCW?
Oh, dude, they didn't even know.
They didn't know?
I was I signed on like September 9th. They're paying me $5,000 a week. They don't even have an idea for me until like the beginning of March, because that's when we shot the thing by the pool. And then thank God Nash ends up getting the book like a week later. Because we didn't know where the angle was going with me and Raven. We had no idea. We weren't going from that pool angle into the ring at all. There was going to be like a month's process. But Nash gets the book like a week later. J.J. Dillon calls me up. Literally, Nash got the book. Within an hour, J.J. Dillon calls me and says, Nash wants you in Minnesota Monday night.
We know this.
So, Hack, I got to ask you, though, about this angle. And stuff.
Not everybody knows it, Oliver. There's new listeners.
Sycamore James needs to know.
Damn.
Hold on, Eric, Hack, I got to ask you, though. So one of the things you guys do is you go into Raven's garage and he pulls out a bunch of posters. And one of them was a Roddy Piper poster. And apparently the idea Raven had is he wanted to work a program with Piper in the main events. And it got kind of kiboshed by the WCW higher-ups.
Dude, I was so high that day.
Yeah,
I was so coked up. Me and Fonzie were at the strip club right outside the airport, on the causeway. We were there to like
Tailwinds?
4 in the morning, and then we started taping at like 8 a.m.
Oh,
at this mansion that they rented.
Well, he also-
I was dipping into the bathroom doing a bump every chance I got. Swear to God.
He also says, I was already a fan of yours in ECW, but I was really interested and kind of excited to see where you would go, being the snooty asshole James. Were you going to be the type of character that was nice to Raven's family, but a jerk off to Raven when they weren't around, like Eddie Haskell on Leave It to Beaver? That's what his question was.
Yeah, we don't know.
Love the
Yeah,
show.
we don't know.
I know exactly.
No,
what
I
it
know,
is.
but you had no idea where it's going.
Right.
He also adds, keep the podcast going. I've been telling people that even if they don't like wrestling, your podcast is a great way to pass the time based on some of the stories told alone. New Jack beating up a drug dealer for selling you guys fake coke and then yelling down the street to take the other dealers out about it, for example. Take care. Thank you for writing and saying. Appreciate the comments, man.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Thanks for listening. New listener.
All right, Eric. Was that Eric?
Yes, that was
All right,
from
Eric.
Sycamore.
I can't
Sycamore.
believe I remember. All
There you
right,
go.
Sycamore. That's
There you
what it's
go.
called. Sycamore.
Sycamore.
I'll remember that.
There you go. Ian from the Canary Islands writes in.
All right, the Canary Islands. Anybody here know where the Canary Islands
We
are?
did this last
We
time.
already
It's by
went
Spain.
over this
All right.
one.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Missouri.
Yeah. Hello, Hack and the Hackettes. A question.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
You hackets!
As much as I hate it, I almost like it.
Is that like Ray Charles and
No,
the,
like the Rockettes.
Oh,
Like, we ain't
okay.
going to do
Dude, he's freebieing the bean in us. That's what he's doing.
yeah, stiff.
a question following your pod with Joey Janela. When did you guys start watching AEW? From the launch? Yes, I was watching from day one. I was interested
launch.
from day one. I was
I've only been in the AEW mode for a year.
He couldn't spell AEW
I didn't
for
know
the
who Will
first couple.
Ospreay was or any of those Kenny Omega, you know what I mean? I didn't know those guys 2 years ago.
Okay. I personally was a huge fan of AEW at the start, and I was all in, excuse the pun. I don't watch it all anymore. I don't find it at all compelling, and it mostly feels like WWE light with random hardcore matches thrown in. Do you think AEW has changed dramatically from the start, or was it always like that and we were simply sucked into the hype train? Have a cold one for me.
No, dude, I kind of have to agree with you. I think it's not getting better. I don't think it's getting better, dude. For some reason, I watched the whole show last night.
Well, you wanted me to bring up the Monet and Statlander spot through the wall.
Yeah, did you hear somebody going, I'm sorry?
No,
I
didn't hear
ran
that.
it back, this is the one I ran back more than anybody. Somebody's saying, I'm sorry, when they're going through the wall. So I think it's Statlander probably saying that.
Oh.
But why would you do that if that's live? You save your sorries for afterwards.
I didn't like that angle because they quickly cut to like promoting other things. They should have let that angle lay out more. You know what I mean? Like
It
it's
was a
too
hot
rushed.
shot. It was a straight hot shot.
It was too rushed. Back to the question about AEW. There's things I really love about it, and there's things that I wish were better. I think the biggest thing that's flipped, at least for the wrestling fan perspective, is for the longest time, WWE was being poorly ran, and every fan pretty much agreed with it. And now WWE is being run better, so now people are being more hypercritical of AEW. I think the matches absolutely still deliver. I think my biggest issue with the matches is that there's too many competitive ones. Like last night, for example, Swerve and Leo Rush, and I love Leo Rush, and I think he's
Swerve
awesome.
should have beat him way sooner.
Correct. It should not have went to be. Not every match needs to be a 12-minute match, right? There should be less selling. I think in some of these
Moxley's
matches.
interview, a little bit rambling.
Yeah, they're look. I mean, they're working their stuff out.
They tried that shit. They tried, you know how they were trying to get the movie? They did like that back thing of, what the hell was the thing they did like a vignette on? Like the 2-minute vignette.
What? Yeah.
See, you can't even remember it.
No, I'm trying to remember what
They did a vignette last night, like trying to...
Oh, with Julia Hart.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
I really like that.
yeah, I know, but in comparison to what WWE does,
I thought it was good. I thought it was well executed. But yeah, that's AEW right now. I think they're in a rut period, and they have to figure out their guys on who to rebuild with. I think.
Look at their presentation package. They got a big screen behind the ring, that's it. They have nothing else, dude. Their presentation is nothing.
It's just a little too convoluted.
It's like an indie show to me.
Yeah, well,
It's too convoluted. There's not much direction with AEW. The work can be very, very good. Like I think every AEW
Well, we all
pay-per-views
agree with that.
Yeah,
work
the work's great.
blows WWE's pay-per-view work out of the water, but there's no direction, and AEW and WWE actually is starting to get a direction with their storylines and everything. So it's making AEW look worse.
yeah. No, I don't disagree. Bob from Broomall writes in.
Bobby.
Just a quick one. Your picture with MJF is everywhere. Was he as big as Simon Diamond in '98, or did he weigh more than $160 with 2-inch lifters?
Thank you, Bob, for realizing this. Even Tyler had to agree that he was smaller than he even thought. Dude, the guy's 5'5".
He's taller than 5'5".
Whatever, but that's
Whatever. It's not whatever. You're trying to prove a point, and then we say,
Well, no,
it's not
the
that.
hack exaggeration.
God, here
You're
we
gonna be like,
go.
yo, that dude was like 7'9".
He's
You know
gonna
what I'm saying?
He's gonna leave the show
but,
again.
But you saw how much bigger I was then.
Yes, you were bigger
Like
than
literally.
Yes.
And look at when he's in the ring with who was the guy that was in one of the main events last night? The small guy that he used to do the angle with.
Adam Cole.
Yeah. Oh, look how much bigger he looks than Adam Cole.
Yes.
All right,
which
that's
says
in the
something. Yeah.
I know, but my point is, they're all midgets nowadays.
They are.
Hey, we got it. We know.
There we
The
go.
lollipop, the lollipop guild.
Up next is Johnny from San Antonio. Writes in, "What's good, boys?
I like Johnny.
Wanted to tap back in with y'all after a little hiatus and ask Hack some questions. So I've recently been listening to Todd is God on Spotify at work and whenever I get some free time. It's a good look into the origins of ECW rising under the ashes of Joel Goodhart's TWA and all of the OG talent working under Todd. With revisionist history and me being a product of Vince's storytelling of ECW, I was always to believe ECW was Paul E's baby, with maybe one mention of Todd owning the company on the Rise and Fall doc. My question: anytime these people listen, you got to give these people. Are you awake now? He's up. Okay. My question for Hack this week is: how much of the ECW concepts were those of Todd's, and how many of those were of Paul E? And when did you realize Paul E was the one calling the shots and phasing Todd out?
It started with Todd, but Paul knew. Dude, Todd was a great booker just because he knew what he wanted to see. You know what I mean? He knew the business needed to transform. But obviously, Paul was more influential on the whole product because Paul was in charge of it for longer.
Okay. And anything like, did you realize when Paul E was pushing out Todd, or having any idea about that, or when did you start?
Well, I'm best friends with Todd. I know he doesn't have the money. You know what I mean? So I know the company's moving to Paul. But the problem was it was embezzled by Paul. It wasn't given to Paul.
Okay. He also says this, not to blow smoke and put y'all over more than I have before. The more you listen to other pro wrestling podcasts, then you listen to the Sandman pod, the more you realize a roundtable discussion live and not off Zoom screens makes y'all's show more personal than those who are out there to capitalize on their past fame or name. Good shit, fellas. You got a lifelong listener of y'all's show.
Hey, I
Johnny!
appreciate that.
I thought that was Bob from Rural.
No, this is Johnny from San Antonio. Thank you,
No,
Johnny.
that's what we're trying to put out there, man. That's what
That's
you
what
know?
this Sandman podcast is all about. It's the realest one in the game. And if you know, you know. Spread the word. Like, share, review, subscribe. Tell
Tell
a
your
friend.
mom, tell your sister.
Get them all watching. Get them all listening. Up next is Pat from Ventura, California, by way of
We've heard from him before.
Leominster, Massachusetts. Writes in.
First time caller.
Yeah, not first time, long time. Yeah, first time, long time.
All right, we've heard from him before. Hey, first time caller.
Yeah. What's up, fellas? It's Pat. Question and PSA. Does Hack have any favorite type of deathmatch types, or does
None.
He doesn't like them?
I knew that was coming.
He doesn't like them. Mine is a Piranha Death Tank match from Big Japan Wrestling. So, okay, interesting.
I've never even heard
I gotta
of
check
that.
that one out.
No, they do some crazy shit over there.
I mean, I think my favorite is just like Onita Hayabusa exploding ring cage death match in 1995. That was amazing shit.
well,
for
he didn't ask you.
Such a dick, dude. Such a dick. This guy's a pretty cool dude. I attended last Saturday's ICW No Holds Barred 65, and I made a DIY Listen to the Sandman podcast shirt, and a lot of people liked it. Got you a few new listeners.
What's DIY?
Do it yourself.
Oh.
So he made a shirt. We put this up on our social media, actually.
Did we?
This guy made his own shirt. He's laughing. Ollie's dying at the DIY.
Do you like to do it yourself?
Yes. Do it yourself. Thank you so much, Pat, for making
many
the
hours.
shirt.
Yeah, thank you,
Telling
dude.
people about the
Appreciate
show,
it.
man. That is super cool, dude. Thank you so much, man. Up next is Kevin from Dayton, Ohio.
Kevin?
Kevin. Hack and the boys, great work as always with the pod. Love the line about Hack saying you can't even come in your pants in Saudi Arabia. You said
about that.
You said that last week, Hack. I don't know if you
I don't even remember.
Yeah, you said you can't do that in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, because it's a sheet.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. Question regarding Benoit and Sabu and the injury in November to Remember 94. Sabu has said that Benoit did apologize for the injury, but did you ever know of a wrestler for not apologizing for injuring someone that caused a rift? I know Bret Hart has had heat with Goldberg for years over lack of an apology. Did you ever injure someone and not apologize, or anyone ever think
I've never injured anybody, so
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to hit you with the cane, but what spot am I going to do to injure you?
Okay, I just He said, "Seems like a sensitive
but
subject."
accidents happen.
Yes.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, but no.
Did you ever know of anybody backstage where like somebody injured somebody
yeah,
and
I'm sure it's happening all the time.
and they didn't apologize right?
Well, you got to understand, if Taz came back, it was Taz's fault. He got his neck broke because he had his neck backward. He should have had his chin tucked.
Okay.
It was my fault with Cactus Jack that I broke my neck.
Not everybody would realize that, though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The Sabu and the Chris thing, I mean, could have gone either way. You know what I'm saying? But I don't, because by watching the move, I don't think Chris did anything wrong. It was a communication thing.
Okay.
But but you're going to say sorry anyway.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But do you remember any times in ECW? No. Nothing?
Anybody got any like heat?
Not
Yeah.
ECW,
No. Okay. Next week's show, guys, we are reviewing November to Remember 96. Like I said, make sure you guys check it out. As always, like, share, review. But before we go, as always, the Cane of the Week and the Toast of the Week. You thought you got me, man. You didn't get me this week. Who you got, Hack?
I ain't caning anybody. I'm putting two people over. MJF for being a huge Sandman fan, and for Pac-Man being a Sandman fan.
There you go. Pac-Man
Shout out
Jones.
to MJF and Pac-Man Jones.
What a tag team right there. Guys, as always, like, share, review, subscribe, and we will catch you next week.
Peace.
Ain't it foggy outside?